Commodores up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovey. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So, here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
And remove your caps for the performance of tonight's national anthem. The Braves are excited to welcome back Colette Burke to Doran Park to perform tonight's anthem. Colette is a 17-year-old rising high school senior who attends Laurelton Hall High School in Connecticut. She has sung the national anthem for professional sports teams in large events nationwide, including the Tampa Bay Rays, the New England Revolution, as well as the Sun and Fun Expo, the nation's largest air show. Colette also performed at Carnegie Hall this past spring with her choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen,
With just 3 games left in the regular season, the playoff teams in the Western Division in the Cape Cod Baseball League are set. The Falmouth Commodores punched their ticket to the postseason last night with a victory, but the Bourne Braves oppose them today and enter this evening with their eyes on first place in the West. Good evening, everybody. Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Soforenko and our field reporter Trey Redfield here at Doran Park on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. We're so glad you could join us today. And Logan, as we said earlier, the Doors have already secured their playoff spot, and they can't move any higher in the West than 4th place. However, they've still got a challenge today in these red-hot Bourne Braves.
Yeah, the Bourne Braves entered today winning 4 straight. They did tie last night at Veterans Field. That was a pitcher's duel. It was the first time where a starting pitcher went 9 full innings on Cape Cod since 2017. That was a starting pitcher for the Chatham Anglers. But a lot on the line for the Bourne Braves tonight because they entered today just 1 point out of first place in the Western Division, a spot that they had last year. But as we come on the air right now, it looks like it's not going to happen tonight because the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have a 5-0 lead over the YD Red Sox, and Hyannis currently sits atop of the Western Division.
Well, for most of this season, the Hawks and the Kettleers have been fighting for first place in the West, but Bourne, a team that has spent most of this summer in 3rd, has slowly crept their way up into contention for the division title, a thing that, as you said, they did just last year, but these new-look Harbor Hawks are trying to cling on to that today, leading by just a single point in first place. And we talked about starting pitching. Not only yesterday, it was Jerron Watts-Brown, but with the Bourne Braves lately, they've been pitching the ball well. And today, the guy opposing their lineup for the Falmouth Commodores is left-hander Will Johnston.
Yeah, it's another lefty the Falmouth Commodores are going to send out, but they're also going to go up against a another arm. They're very thankful they don't have to go up against a lefty like Hunter Furtado, in which they saw last week. Furtado was absolutely beautiful in his outing, and all of a sudden there was that controversial play down the first base line in which Peyton Stovall had a single that was originally ruled a foul ball, but the rest of the game would actually be played after protest. But Will Johnson had a couple of bullpen outings and then now moved his way into a starter's capacity, pitched in the Katuitt Kettleers game just the other week, and it's good to see him back on the road. And we talked about how weird it was going to be in these next 3 games to see who's going to be on the starting pitcher's bump, who's going to be in the lineup, because these 3 games, like you said, they don't mean anything for the Falmouth Commodores standing-wise.
Well, we're interested today to see who was going to be in the lineup for the Doors, who was being rested and who was going to start, but these are mostly the usual suspects for Falmouth. As we go over the lineup, it's left-hander Will Johnston on the mound, making his 3rd start and 5th appearance of the summer. He'll start things on the mound in the bottom of this first inning against the Braves lineup. But right now, it's left-hander Will Sandy for Bourne, facing down a pretty regular Falmouth lineup, starting with Alex Mooney, who leads off and plays short today. Colby Halter is playing second this afternoon and hitting second. Jace Borfin hits 3rd, playing left. Andrew Pinckney is the cleanup man today. He's in his usual center field spot. Drew Brutcher has been red hot with the bat as of late. He's in right, hitting 5th. Corey Collins DHing and hitting 6th. Jacob Walsh, the first baseman, hitting 7th. Anthony McKenzie at 3rd base, hitting 8th. And Danny Nearai, the catcher, rounds out the Falmouth lineup against Will Sandy, the left-hander from UNC for Bourne, making his 7th appearance and 2nd start of the summer. Sandy carries a 4.9 ERA into this contest in his first 14 2/3 innings. 14 hits, 6 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 8 earned runs, although Sandy's last 3 appearances have been scoreless over a combined 7 2/3 innings.
Yeah, in his last 2 consecutive outings, he actually got 2 decisions that went in his favor. It was his first 2 wins of the season. He got a win against the Wareham Gatemen at Doran Park. That was on the 19th. And then just the other day on the 25th at Spillane Field, he went 2 1/3 and got the win out of relief. So it's going to be a little interesting to see another lefty on the mound for the Bourne Braves, but hopefully it's not like last week with Hunter Furtado.
Well, the Doors have had their troubles with left-handed pitching this year. As we look at the numbers, Falmouth has just a 183 team-wide average against southpaws. Only 2 hitters in the entire lineup have hit over 300 against left-handed pitching on the year, those being Alex Mooney and Andrew Pinckney. So the challenge today for the Doors, although the pressure is off on the playoff side, is to try to get their licks in against Will Sandy. So this left-hander, 6'4", originally from Raleigh, North Carolina, armed with a low 90s fastball and a changeup that he uses for his out pitch. As this game's just about set to get underway with Alex Mooney just about to step into the right-handed batter's box here at Doran Park. The Commodores and the Braves ready to get set to finish off this regular season series. Falmouth enters today with 3 wins in its first 5 games against these Braves on the season series. Sandy goes into his wind, and the first pitch to Mooney is a swing and a pop-up behind the plate, and it's 0-1. And that's how this one starts here at Doran Park. 6:06 p.m. first pitch on a very nice day. Some sun earlier, but it's dipped behind some clouds now, and the weather is cool. 0-1 pitch to Mooney. Outside, couldn't be gloved by Espinal behind the plate, and it's 1-1.
There's that first pitch attacking again. He attacked on the first pitch 3 times yesterday. 2 of them were base hits. 1 of them was a solo home run.
Well, typical aggression from Mooney as Sandy deals the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Had Mooney behind on a heater, and it's 1-2. Mooney now scrapes some dirt away with the right foot and stands in the righty box. 1-2 delivery from Sandy. Swinging another foul back, this time to the netting, and it stays 1-2. Well, you heard the Falmouth lineup to begin this game. The Bourne defense behind Sandy to open up this game. Outfield left to right. Evan Slight, Nelson Taylor, and Mac Horvath. And we'll get to the infield after this 1-2 pitch. Sandy gets his sign, goes into his wind, and deals. 1-2 pitch high and away from Mooney, and it's 2-2. Infield around the horn for Bourne. Bryce Eblett at 3rd base, John Peck at short, Matt Shaw, the MVP candidate at 2nd base, and Chris Brito at 1st. Alan Espinal is the catcher. 2-2 pitch is outside, and it's 3-2 on Mooney.
Good takes here. First pitch at 6:05.
Sandy's wind, and he kicks and fires. Foul back to the right side. Brito from first base underneath it, giving it a look. And there's one away here at the top of the first inning as Mooney shakes his hands. Jammed on that pitch, heading back to the dugout, but there's one away to start this game.
You know what they call that, right? They call that a stinger.
Bees in the bat handle, if you will,
Absolutely.
if you're so inclined.
Got the part of the bat where, right around the middle part, that's where it usually gets you.
So one away, top of the first inning. We're just underway here at Doran Park between the Falmouth Commodores and Bourne Braves in this Western Division clash. Both of these squads playoff teams this year in the Cape Cod League as Sandy deals with Colby Halter, who swings and misses for strike one. 0-1 the count on the Falmouth second baseman. Getting his first rips today, hitting second and playing second base, so not his usual third base spot. Anthony McKenzie will play over there today. 0-1 delivery from Sandy. Swinging a ground ball, sharply hit to second base. Shaw doesn't have to move his feet. The throw to first a tad high, but gloved by Brito for out number 2 here in the top of the first.
Left fielder number 9.
Matt
out of
Shaw doesn't
Arkansas,
make a lot of
Jace
throwing
Orphan.
errors, close to, if any. So sometimes ball gets away from you. Talk about the weather. It's a nice one out tonight. Not humid, wind blowing to left field with the flagpole being in straightaway center. Good time for Borfin to hit a home run.
Well, now he stands in with 2 away, bases empty, top of the first. First pitch swinging, grounded to second base. Shaw to his left, taps the glove, and throws on to first in plenty of time. And the Doors go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning here at Doran Park. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no men left. Taylor, Shaw, and Brito, 1, 2, and 3 in the Bourne order, coming to bat in front of their home crowd when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So, here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Well, we're back at Doran Park, just underway here between the Falmouth Commodores and Bourne Braves. 0-0 your score as the Braves are set to come up to hit for the first time today. It's Nelson Taylor, Matt Shaw, and Chris Brito, 1, 2, and 3 in the Bourne order, due up against left-hander Will Johnston for Falmouth, making his 3rd start and 5th appearance of the year.
Well, this is one of those where you got to rely on him late in the game. Doesn't have a decision to his name this season, a 6.09 ERA. Don't let that deceive you. 10 1/3 of work, getting a lot of work these past couple of games. He's struck out 11 batters. He's walked 7 batters and has given up 8 hits. But in these past 2 outings, one at Hyannis and one at Katuitt, he's given up quite a few earned runs. So I talked about yesterday, the Commodores' offense has to attack early. Will Johnson has to attack right here. Trey Redfield loves saying it. He loves strike 1. Got to use strike 1 here.
Well, Johnston's last 2 starts came against perhaps the 2 most formidable offenses in the entire Cape League, Katuitt and Hyannis, 2 teams that put up runs in bunches. Johnston gave up 4 earned in his second to last start, and then 3 earned in his last start at Hyannis back on the 25th. He now looks down Nelson Taylor, the left-handed hitting center fielder for Bourne, leading things off here in the bottom of the first inning at Doran Park. The Braves hitting for the first time today as Johnston winds and delivers. First pitch swinging, liner to third base, caught by McKenzie. Well, he barely even had time to react to that ball. just stuck his glove
Second
up and saw
baseman, number
it
24,
sear
out
in
of
for out
Maryland,
number
Matt
1.
And McKenzie
Shaw.
was playing very shallow right there. He was playing on the infield grass, and that's one of those where you catch it and you take a breath and go, all right, we'll take it. One pitch, one gone.
So Taylor making things pretty easy for Johnston in his first inning of work. Now looking down Matt Shaw. First pitch to Shaw is up high, and we know a lot about this guy. Anything but easy for Johnston, dealing with a potential Cape League MVP at the plate right now in the form of Shaw. 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss, vicious cut, but strike one. 1-1 the count. With Chris Brito, the first baseman, hitting third on deck. Shaw playing second, hitting second today. Taylor in center leading off and already made an out in this inning. Evan Slight playing left and cleaning up as the 1-1 pitch from Johnston sails in for strike 2, 1-2. Mac Horvath playing right for Bourne today, hitting 5th. John Peck at short, hitting 6th. Bryce Edlin at third base, hitting 7th. Josh Moylan, the DH, hitting 8th. 1-2 pitch to Shaw is fired right back. Hits the netting and jostles our crowd mic. It stays 1-2. And rounding out the Bourne lineup, it's Alan Espinal, the catcher, hitting 9th. Johnston's wind in the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive to right center field. That is get down for a base hit in front of Pinckney, coming over to his left in right center field. And it's the first hit of the game for Bourne, courtesy of Matt Shaw. He has had plenty of those this summer. The Maryland product entered the evening hitting .375.
Brito.
And he has the first Braves base knock of the evening.
And this is how it went in the first inning last time the Doors were here at Doran Park. 2 runs for the Bourne Braves in the first inning. Johnson trying to not have that result here. 1 gone. Double play would be huge right here.
Shaw at first base, 1 down, bottom of the first inning, and Chris Brito is the batter, the first baseman and right-handed hitter against the lefty Johnston, who deals up high. At head level, it's 1-0. Defense behind Johnston for Falmouth, outfield left to right, Jace Borfin, Andrew Pinckney, and Drew Brutcher. Infield around the horn, Anthony McKenzie, Alex Mooney, Colby Halter, and Jacob Walsh. And Danny Neary is the catcher today. 1-0 pitch as Shaw goes, taken for a strike. The throw to second, glove by Halter, but no tag applied. And that is the 20th stolen base for Matt Shaw on the summer in just 23 attempts.
We'll give that also his 21st realistically, because he also swiped the bag in the All-Star game. It's only fitting he got one there at Spillane Field, because if he's on first and nobody's on second and third, he's going to take off. And he doesn't get gunned down that many times.
So Shaw now at second with 1 down, bottom of the first inning. Johnston looking Shaw back at second. Now turns and fires the 1-1 down low. 2-1 the count. We talk about how hot Shaw has been entering the day. In his last 10 games, Shaw was hitting .457, but Brito right behind him. In this first baseman's last 10 games, he's hit .455 with a pair of home runs, as Shaw bluffs a go and distracts Johnston enough to step off.
Brito had a home run last night in the Chatham 1-1 tie. That pitcher's duel.
2-1 delivery to Brito. Outside, 3-1. But these two guys in the 2 and 3 spots in this Bourne lineup, Shaw and Brito, they are as hot as any hitters on the Cape League right now. Shaw out of Maryland, Chris Brito out of Rutgers.
You also have Evan Slight. He was a Cape League Player of the Week, batting cleanup.
On deck, hitting .314 on the season. 3-1 to Brito, swing and a miss, 3-2. Johnson challenged him with a fastball low and away, and Brito couldn't catch up. The count is full on the Bourne first baseman. Shaw has stayed put at second base so far. Halter cheating over towards the second base bag. Trying to play Brito, hitting up the middle. Now goes back a step towards the hole. Johnston steps off again.
Johnson rocking the high socks today. Haven't really seen that too much.
Shaw jumping around at second, but Johnston fires the pitch, swinging a ground foul back, and it's 3-2 still. Well, the uniforms today for Falmouth, they're typical road blacks with the gray pants. A couple players with the high maroon socks. Johnston is one of them. He's got those pant cuffs pulled up to above the knee. But the maroon hats as well. We haven't seen that until late in the season.
Wore them last night where they clinched. It was this exact same combo.
And the Braves, of course, in their home white jerseys with the red lettering on the front. 3-2 to Brito again. Inside for ball 4. Didn't miss by much for Johnston, and he purses his lips in frustration as Neary fires
Left
that
fielder,
ball
number
back to the
27,
mound.
out of Rutgers,
It's the first
Evan
walk of the game.
Slight.
Delivered to Brito, and there goes the 0-2 again. Shaw at second, Brito at first. And they have been doing practically nothing but getting on base over their last 10 games or so, both having phenomenal month of Julys. And here's another guy you shouldn't take for granted. It's Evan Slight, the left fielder and cleanup hitter. A lefty bat against the left-hander Johnston here in the bottom of the first inning. There are runners at first and second now with one out. First pitch to Slight on the outer half, a fastball for strike one. It's 0-1. So Johnston, 6'4" left-hander from Keller, Texas, who just finished up his sophomore spring at Texas A&M, where he pitched in 23 games, all but 2 in relief. 0-1 pitch to Slight is a swing and a ground ball to second base. Halter coming in and make a quick throw off balance for out number 2. His only play was to first as both runners move up. Shaw to third, Brito to second. Not an easy play for Halter as he moves back to second base, usual third baseman, but he made that one look easy.
And
Horvath.
that could have been a real big disaster because Chris Brito was around Colby Halter the same time the ball went to his glove. So the fact that Halter got it off cleanly is very impressive. 2 gone here in the first, but now 2 in scoring position for Mac Horvath.
So here's Horvath, the number 5 hitter and right fielder today, with Shaw at third and Brito at second here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 down. Johnston looking in, now delivers. First pitch swinging. Horvath swings over the top of that one for strike one. A curveball down in the zone. It's 0-1. Johnston features fastball, curveball primarily. Fastball 90 to 93, curveball in the high 70s as his primary breaking weapon. 0-1 delivery to Horvath. Another swing and a miss, and a breaking ball down low as it gets away from Neareye. Shaw took a couple steps towards home, but now retreats to third base.
Had a grin on his face, too, as if you're smiling for a dentist. He wanted that, but that's one of those where you say, maybe not, got to go back.
Shaw today already has a base hit, a stolen base, and a filthy front of his jersey, courtesy of the swipe of second, and that's usually how he appears in every Cape League game he plays. Always hustling around the diamond, and to this point, a guy who looks like a surefire pick for Cape League MVP. He has done just about everything well this summer. 0-2 on Horvath as Johnston looks in and delivers. Swinging a tapper third base side, up the line. Tough play for McKenzie, who lets it bounce foul. Well, lucky bounce there for Anthony McKenzie over at third base. If that ball stayed fair, he might not have had a play on that ball.
And with that speedster, Matt Shaw coming home, would have been a Bourne Braves 1-0 lead. But the second that ball went foul, I peeked in the Bourne dugout because Bourne Braves, Falmouth Commodores, and the 2 words foul ball has been an interesting story this year. One controversy at the Gov and one here at Doran Park last week.
Horvath now all the way back to the plate. He reached first base on that ground ball and then had to jog his way back to the right-handed batter's box. Johnston looking in and deals the 0-2. Swinging a fly ball, foul ground right side. Brutcher moving over and has no play. It bounces out of play, and it stays 0-2 on Horvath. Well, I didn't want to let that point slide by. You said it. These 2 teams have had some interesting games. Doors lead the season series 3-2, but there have been some tight contests and some hotly contested calls, including that swinging bunt up the first baseline the last time we were here at Doran Park by Peyton Stovall, who begins this game on the bench, that led the Braves to actually play the second half of that game under protest to no avail. But now this is the season finale between these 2. The 0-2 from Johnson again, swinging a hard-hit line drive into the left center field gap. Pinckney tracing over, can't get it as it plunks in between him and Borfin. Shaw in to score, Brito right behind him. It's a 2 RBI double for Mac Horvath here in the bottom of the first inning. And the Braves off the launching pad early in front of their home crowd, now lead it by a pair over the Commodores.
Well, there was a contested throw at second base, and Colby Halter, he thought about jogging off the infield diamond there because he thought he got Horvath, but
Shortstop,
Horvath
number
continues
16,
to
out of
punish the
Pepperdine,
Falmouth
John
Commodores.
Peck.
Well, it was Horvath, the UNC product, who made waves in just his 3rd Cape League game back on July 14th with a walk-off grand slam against Chatham. He has hit 4 home runs on the season, but now give him 13 RBIs as John Peck takes a strike on the inside corner. The Bourne shortstop and number 6 hitter today, with Horvath now at second base. The first 2 runs of this game, courtesy of the Bourne right fielder. Johnston now facing down the right-handed hitting Peck. Looking back, Horvath at second, now turns and deals. Down low, in the dirt, 1-1.
Horvath also had that home run at the Gov off of Garrett Coe. That was a 4-3 victory for the Falmouth Commodores, but like they always do, they make it interesting and win by 1 run.
1-1 the count on Peck as Johnston delivers. Swinging a fly ball to center field. Pinckney a step back, now raises his glove, and underneath it in moderately deep center field to make the catch for out number 3. So the Braves get things started early here at Doran Park. 2 hits and 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. No errors, and Bourne does strand a man at second base. We head on to the top of the second. Pinckney, Brutcher, and Collins, 4, 5, and 6 for the Doors due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So, here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
We're headed on to the second inning here at Doran Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Bourne Braves. But it's the hometown Braves who have struck first in this game, leading 2-0, courtesy of a 2 RBI double in the first off of the bat of right fielder Mac Horvath. So the Doors now bring 4, 5, and 6 in their order up to the plate to face left-hander Will Sandy. Bourne starter in this game, it's Andrew Pinckney, Drew Brutcher, and Corey Collins to get things going for Falmouth here in the top of the second inning. Pinckney stands into the right-handed batter's box as Sandy peers in, now turns and delivers. First pitch to Pinckney's up high, and it's 1-0. Umpiring crew today here at Doran Park. Third base umpire Mike Hinojosa, home plate umpire Luis DeLuise, and first base umpire Mike Farman. 1-0 to Pinckney, swinging a pop-up right side, out of play, over towards this sandy area, just off to the right in foul ground behind the dugout where there's some construction going on here at Doran Park. 1-1 the count on Pinckney as Sandy deals. Strike 2 on the outer half, and it's 1-2 on the Falmouth center fielder. Pinckney enters the day hitting .248, 4 home runs for this Alabama Crimson Tide product, 16 driven in. 1-2 deliveries outside, 2-2.
Something Pinckney does a lot, and he's seen quite a few times this season, is hitting with 2 strikes. He's got a lot of 2-strike base knocks this season. Never count this guy out.
2-2 pitch from Sandy. Swing and a miss. Pinckney went fishing for a breaking ball down and away as Espinal throws on to first to complete the strikeout. It's the first punch out of the day for Will Sandy, and the first out here in the top of the second inning.
Right fielder number 16 out of South Florida, Drew Brutcher.
So now here's Drew Brutcher playing right and hitting fifth today. Lefty-lefty matchup against the left-hander Sandy. With nobody on base and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Corey Collins, the DH hitting 6th, is on deck. Sandy goes into his wind and deals. Swinging a foul the other way. Well out of play over the netting, over the snack shack here at Doran Park, and it's 0-1.
Looking forward to trying their popcorn today. I've been told by one of our great friends and CCBL President Chuck Sturdivant that the popcorn is fantastic here.
0-1 delivery to Brutcher, swinging a foul back again, 0-2. Well, what, in your opinion, makes good popcorn?
I'm a salt guy. For some reason, I enjoy salt on popcorn.
Not a big sweet guy?
Not a big sweet guy. I mean, I'll appreciate some caramel corn, but at a ballpark, salty popcorn. Absolutely.
I would have to agree with that. I like that line of thought. Sandy winds in the 0-2 pitch to Brutchers, up high and tight, 1-2.
Well, he's been so disciplined in the batter's box this past month, hasn't he, as we're officially on day number 31 of July. What a month he's been having.
1-2 to Brutcher, but not a good result here. He strikes out looking on a change of speeds from Sandy, and Brutcher knew it right away for the second out here in the top of the second inning.
Hitter, number 25.
Second straight punch out for Sandy, and I guess we'll have to
Collins.
get to Drew's numbers this month later because you're right, he has been swinging a hot bat. But 0 for 1 to start this day. Corey Collins now stands in with 2 outs and the bases clear here in the top of the second inning. Collins DHing, batting as a lefty against the left-hander Sandy. Sandy goes into his wind, and the first pitch to Collins is a change of speeds on the inside corner. That changeup from this left-hander, nicking the zone for strike 1, and it's 0-1. 2-0 your score. The Braves lead the Doors here at Doran Park. As the 0-1 pitch to Collins comes in, it's a swing and a ground ball foul right side. And the count goes to 0-2. So Collins, out of Georgia, is hitting 167 on the summer, but it doesn't tell the whole story. He's hit 6 doubles and has been walking more lately. Has had better plate appearances, particularly over his last 5 games. He's hit 273 over that span. 0-2 pitch fouled off the glove of Espinal. And it stays 0-2.
Espinal frustrated there. He took his throwing arm and pounded it to his mitt, because if he had caught that pitch, that's a strike 3 call, and that'd be the 3rd strikeout for Will Sandy and the 3rd one this inning.
Well, new baseballs delivered to home plate umpire Luis DeLuise, who gives the signal to Sandy that he's ready to go. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases clear, top of the second as Sandy winds and deals. Swing and a rocket fly ball hit to right center field. Into no man's land, it plugs down for a base hit. And Collins on with the first hit for the Doors today. A 2-out single here in the top of the second inning.
First baseman, number 33 out of
That
Oregon,
ball died off the
Jacob
bat a bit more
Walsh.
quickly than I think either of us thought. And the same can be said for Nelson Taylor in center and Mac Horvath in right, who saw that ball drop down right in front of him.
That's one of those splitters and off the fists. It's one of those where it was a good swing. From the naked eye, it looked like he might have gotten jammed, but not with that pitch. It was just one of those that died, and you'll take it.
So Collins now stands at first base, and Jacob Walsh is the hitter. With 2 away, top of the second inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Sandy, first pitch to Walsh. Strike 1, called on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Jacob Walsh, the Oregon product, who enters the day hitting 191, but with 5 home runs to his credit and 16 driven in. He has been a power bat in this Falmouth lineup all summer long. 0-1 pitch to swing and a ground ball foul right side as Brito gave it half a lunge over at first base and saw it go out of play.
Walsh also is a powerhouse here at Doran Park. He's had a home run in both of the first 2 contests against the Bourne Braves. Loves that short porch and right where it's 300 down the line.
0-2 the count on Walsh, though, as Sandy delivers. Swing and a miss, and that ends the top of the second inning. Well, the Doors get a hit, no runs, no errors, and they leave a man as Will Sandy strikes out 3 to end that half inning. We head on to the bottom of the second. Eblin, Moylan, and Espinal. 7, 8, and 9 for Bourne coming to the plate when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.
Well, we're headed to the bottom of the second inning here at Doran Park as the Falmouth Commodores trail the Bourne Braves 2-0 in a battle of Western Division foes. Bryce Eblin, Josh Moylan, and Alan Espinal, the bottom third in the Bourne order, due up in this inning against left-hander Will Johnston, who's not particularly enjoying his first trip to Doran Park after being touched up for 2 runs on 2 hits in the first inning. A single by Matt Shaw, a walk to Chris Brito, and then a 2-run double by Mac Horvath. First pitch to Bryce Eblin is high and away, and it's 1-0. So Eblin playing third, hitting 7th today. Left-handed bat against the lefty Johnston, who deals the 1-0. Swinging a foul ball the other way, off to the left side. And right off the light fixture, up high on the pole. It counts 1-1 now.
Will Johnston with 3 consecutive outings with multiple earned runs.
1-1 pitch is high and in, making Eblin back out of the way quickly, and it's 2-1.
That'll get him to do just that.
Johnston puts the ball in glove. Now winds and delivers. 2-1 pitch on the lower half, strike 2. 2-2 on Eblin.
Good spot.
These two SEC foes in the springtime. Eblin does his playing at Alabama, and Will Johnston at Texas A&M. As Johnston fires the 2-2. Breaking ball low and away from Eblin, and the count runs full.
You wanted that sweeper. Lefty in the batter's box, Eblin. He wanted him to chase that pitch. No dice.
Eblin enters this evening hitting .216 for Bourne on the summer. 3-2 pitch from Johnston. Fastball in there for strike 3 called. Eblin had already flicked his bat away towards the Bourne dugout, expecting a walk. And he exchanges a glance with home plate umpire Luis DeLuise as he heads back to the dugout.
Moylan.
But in any event, it's 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. First K of the game for Will Johnston, who just froze Eblin.
Hey, great spot. Talked about that sweeping off-speed pitch that he missed. He decided to go to the fastball. He caught him by surprise.
First pitch to Josh Moylan is that breaking ball, but this one's way high, and it's 1-0. Well, instead of a leadoff walk to Eblin, who can steal a base, Johnston got aggressive. Came into the zone with the fastball, and it paid dividends. Moylan left-handed hitting DH, number 8 spot at the plate. Watches strike 1 go by, 1-1 the count. Moylan on the summer, just a .162 hitter, but with a trio of home runs to his credit. 11 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. Caught the inside corner. Good breaking ball from Johnston. One of his best so far today, and it's 1-2.
Late call there from Luis DeLuise behind home plate.
Johnston peering in, ready with the 1-2 pitch as Moylan gets himself set up. And the delivery. Swing and a miss. Johnston took something off and gets his second straight strikeout. He fans Moylan, and that brings up Alan Espinal, the number 9 hitter and catcher today for Bourne, with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Well, he saw Will Sandy in the top of the second inning strike out the first 2 batters he faced. Johnston said, you know what, let's do the same thing.
First pitch to Espinal is a swing and a line drive base hit to right field. The third hit of the day for Bourne comes off the bat of Espinal, and he's doing it to the Commodores again.
Polk State,
extending the bottom of the second with a hit, and that brings around the top of the Bourne order.
Espinal 7 for 50 on the season, but this is now his 5th hit against the Falmouth Commodores. Or I beg your pardon, the 4th hit against the Falmouth Commodores.
So 4 out of 8 against the Doors, including the hit today. His lone home run of the season came against the Doors back on July 12th.
Had 2 runs driven in that day.
At the Gov, 2 for 4, solid day. Had a 2-hit game July 29th at Harwich as well, so maybe things going a little better for Espinal lately at the plate than they have been for a lot of this season. Nelson Taylor is the batter now with Espinal at first base and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Johnson looking over Espinal, now deals the first pitch to Taylor. It's down low and away for ball one.
Oh, Will Sandy, after he struck out the first two batters he saw, he gave up a base hit. Johnson did the same thing again.
Time called as it appears Espinal's getting his equipment right over at first base. And they throw a stray ball out of play as well over into foul ground where a bunch of kids go running after it. Espinal at first base, not a stealing threat with two gone here in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 pitch to Taylor's down low and in, 2-0. Taylor, a recent addition to this roster, just finished up his freshman spring at Polk State College, where he hit .236 in 52 games, but including the line out today, Taylor's just 2 for 10 with Bourne on the summer. 2-0 pitch to him, little low, 3-0.
Well, he hit that rocket back in the top or the bottom of the first inning, right to Anthony McKenzie. McKenzie playing a little bit further back this time than he was where he was positioned for that line out.
3-0 count on Taylor, and you don't want to walk him with Matt Shaw on deck. 3-0 pitch, fastball right down the middle, 3-1. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Alan Espinal, the Bourne catcher, over at first base, as Will Johnston, the left-handed starter for Falmouth, is trying to battle through his second inning of work. In a 2-0 game, Bourne leads Falmouth, I should say, early on in this one at Doran Park. 3-1 pitch, inside for ball 4. Taylor tosses his bat away towards the Bourne dugout, and right near the man who was on deck, and now strolling to the plate, it's Matt Shaw.
Second baseman, number 24, out of Maryland, Matt Shaw.
Uh-oh. So 2 straight 2-out base runners, and uh-oh is right. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the second for the Cape League's leading hitter. Johnston peering in at the right-handed hitting Shaw. First pitch to him. Breaking ball buckled him. Strike one, 0-1. Shaw was not looking for that. First pitch curveball from Johnston, and it was a hammer right in the zone. 0-1 the count. With Espinal at second, Taylor at first. Johnston now comes set and bluffs a move to second base to get Espinal back to the base.
Well, you said he's not a base stealing threat, but always good to check on the lead runner in scoring position.
Johnson goes into his wind, and the 0-1 to Shaw is a swing and a foul right side. It's 0-2.
He knows how to put barrel to ball. That's for sure, even though he spoils pitches. That's what good hitters do.
Well, Shaw has hit .380 in this month of July, not including his single back in the first inning in this game, along with 8 doubles and 13 driven in this month. 0-2 the count, though, from Johnston, who deals. Breaking ball fouled right back. Pretty good pitch, pretty good idea, but Shaw has been fighting pitches like that off all summer.
It's a pretty good pitch, pretty good spot, pretty good hitter. That's all it is right there. We had Matt Levine here the last time the Doors played here at Doran Park, and he's a Maryland guy. He saw this guy all school year. Number 1 seed, hosted a regional. The Terrapins.
Johnson and Neary behind the plate, really having to work together here with 2 on and 2 out, bottom of the second. 0-2 pitch to Shaw, swinging another foul ball. Another offering spoiled, this time to the pull side, and it stays 0-2. Well, Shaw has been pretty much a star since he broke ground at Maryland back in 2021. He was a freshman All-American a year ago. And this year, first team All-Big Ten with the Terps. In 60 starts, hit .290 with an OPS up near 1,000. Johnston's 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball low, 1-2.
Well, he has walked 14 times this year. Has struck out 34 times as well. But he's so tough to get with 2 strikes.
Johnston getting the signs with Espinal at second and Taylor at first base. Here in the bottom of the second, the Braves lead 2-0 and are threatening. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball down low. And that's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the second inning. A huge K for Johnston, who finishes up with 3 punch-outs in the inning. The Braves get a hit, no runs, no errors, and leave a pair as we head on to the top of the 3rd. McKenzie, Neary, and Mooney, 8-9-1 for Falmouth coming back around. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over! Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Oh, we're ready for the top of the third inning here at Doran Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Bourne Braves. Right now, it's Bourne who has the upper hand in this game, leading 2-0. But the Braves couldn't capitalize on a 2-on with 2-out opportunity in the second, and Matt Shaw at the plate. Left-handed starter Will Johnston struck out Shaw to end that inning. And now Anthony McKenzie, Danny Neary, and Alex Mooney, 8-9-1 for the Doors, are due up here in the third. Starting with McKenzie, playing third and hitting eighth today. This switch hitter out of Sam Houston State has been swinging a hot bat as of late. In limited action, McKenzie over his last 6 games, 5 for his last 12. At the plate, as Will Sandy deals the first pitch, swinging a foul back, 0-1 the count on McKenzie.
McKenzie had a great bunt yesterday. Stayed on the edge of the third base infield grass. It did not move. One of the best bunts we've seen all year.
0-1 the count as Sandy goes into his wind, and the pitch on the way to McKenzie is in for a strike. 0-2 the count on the Falmouth third baseman. Well, that bunt base hit counts just as much as any ringing single off the wall, at least in the box score. 0-2 pitch to McKenzie is high and away, 1-2. Espinal had to lunge to his right for it. Anthony on this season, switch hitter batting right-handed against the left-hander Sandy, has actually hit better for average against southpaws, but for less power. 1-2 pitch to McKenzie, swinging a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Taylor comes in to pick it up as McKenzie stops at first base. It's a leadoff single here for the Doors in the top of the third inning off of Will Sandy.
Out of Notre Dame, Daniel
and
Neary.
Here's Danny Neary with McKenzie now at first base and nobody down.
Well, it nearly took Sandy with him, but how about that 2-strike placement off the bat of McKenzie? He's been swinging the bat pretty well these past couple of games. He's taken some good approaches, working some counts, even with 2 strikes, not afraid to put the ball in play.
McKenzie's now at first base, not much of a runner. Neary at the plate as Sandy delivers the first pitch to the Falmouth catcher, swinging a fly ball to right field. Playable for Horvath coming in as he dives and makes the catch for out number 1. Well, you hear that wind blowing around here a bit at Doran Park. It looks like a gust played some tricks on Horvath out there at right, who dove and lost his hat,
Shortstop number
but
4
still
out
came
of
up
Duke,
to make the
Alex
play.
Mooney.
On a sinking liner, McKenzie stays at first, and Neary is the first unlucky out here in the top of the third.
The big O's right there from the crowd as well. Sounded like someone threw their bowling ball backwards on Wii Bowling. People were like, my goodness.
Alex Mooney now at the plate with McKenzie still at first. 1 away, top of the third. With the Braves up 2-0 on the Doors. Sandy's first offering to Mooney. Breaking ball taken for a strike. So Mooney not first pitch swinging that time. And got something off speed from Sandy. 0-1 the count on the Falmouth shortstop, who's 0 for 1 today. Popped up back in the first inning. Sandy's 0-1 stretch, throws over to first. McKenzie's back. Well, McKenzie's not a speed threat, and he has nursed a hamstring injury at this part of this season this summer. Only one stolen bag in as many tries with Falmouth. With Mooney at the plate, swing at the 0-1 and a pop-up foul back of the plate. It's 0-2. Colby Halter on deck. The second baseman's 0 for 1 today. But Mooney at the plate, who has really torn up left-handed pitching so far this summer. Against left-handers, no one on the doors has hit better than Mooney with a 350 clip heading into the day. 14 for 40 with a double and 3 home runs against Southpaws. The 0-2 stretch from Sandy, outside and high, 1-2. Almost looked like a pitch out. McKenzie stays put, it's 1-2.
It's also slide step delivery. We saw Sandy keep his leg up just a little bit 2 pitches ago to fire back over to first base and check on McKenzie, but nothing but a slide step, and that's some of the times results in a pitch out.
Sandy paying attention to McKenzie. Now the 1-2 delivery to Mooney. Again outside and high, same spot, and it's 2-2 on Alex.
Well, a fastball from a lefty to a righty batter, if it's a strike, is a perfect recipe for a home run to left field. That's why he's been missing with that fastball on back-to-back pitches on the outside part of the other batter's box.
Sandy looking over at McKenzie at first base, who has a short lead. 2-2 pitch to Mooney's down in the dirt. 3-2 the count goes.
All the way back.
McKenzie at first base, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning at Doran Park. Alex Mooney at the plate, facing off against left-hander Will Sandy, who nods, gets his sign, puts the ball in the glove. He winds, and another throw to first. McKenzie's back in time again. Paying an awful lot of attention over there to a guy who just doesn't do a lot of running.
Oh, I'd be curious if there was somebody else like Pinckney or Halter with just 1 out and a full count, if they would take off.
Sandy again looking over, but deals the 3-2 to Mooney. It's a swing and a pop foul back of the plate again. So Mooney's putting up a lengthy at bat here. Good battle against Sandy. McKenzie hasn't moved from first, although the Doors are in the upper half of the Cape League in stolen bases. 4th coming into the day in that category with 57. The Braves, meanwhile, are 2nd in steals, behind only Hyannis. Payoff pitch again from Sandy, but no, he goes to first instead. Well, he's certainly keeping McKenzie honest, if anything, over there at first base.
That's the 4th time he's thrown back.
And he's making Mooney wait. 3-2 delivery. Up high, ball 4, and Mooney walks. With 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning, that pushes McKenzie to 2nd. And the Doors have men at first and second with only 1 away for Colby Halter.
Colby Halter.
Well, Mooney had a great first at bat, worked the count pretty deep. It's the first walk issued from Will Sandy. It was the first time the Falmouth Commodores have seen 3 balls in a count today. Now here's Halter, and this is the kind of situation he likes.
Colby Halter entering the evening hitting .333 over his last 10 games, 12 for 36 with a pair of home runs. He has been hot with the bat, one of the Doors all-stars this summer. Lefty bat against the lefty Sandy. First pitch on the way to Halter. Breaking ball, snaps in for a strike. It's 0-1. Good spot from Sandy for a free strike on the Falmouth second baseman, who's hitting for the 2nd time today. Halter grounded out to second base, his first time up. Halter twirls the bat around and now puts it on that rear left shoulder. Takes a practice swing as Sandy readies himself on the mound. The wind in the 0-1 to Halter. Swing and a miss. Again behind on a fastball. It's 0-2.
Well, you talked about Matt Shaw being an MVP candidate. This guy right here in the batter's box has perhaps entered his name into the conversation with the kind of season he's been having.
You'd like to think that Halter will at least get some votes, entering the day with a .313 average, 7 home runs, leading the league in that latter category. 19 driven in and a dozen stolen bases to Halter's credit. He's been an all-around offensive force. 0-2 pitch is a swing and a drive to right field. Horvath racing in from right to make the catch, and does for out number 2. Another hat lost on the charge toward the infield for Horvath, but he registers another out.
Fielder number 9
Neither
out of
runner
Arkansas,
moves up for
Chase
Falmouth, and
Borfin.
Chase Borfin's now the hitter with 2 away here in the top of the 3rd.
That wind is just not picking the ball up at all. It's blowing a little bit towards left center, but I haven't seen it really affect the pop-ups too much.
Chase Borfin now in the left-handed batter's box with McKenzie at second and Mooney at first here in the top of the 3rd. 2 away so far. First delivery to Jace is in for a strike. Good pitch from Sandy to make the count 0-1. Sandy's been changing speeds pretty effectively in this game. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball. He's been mixing them in well so far.
Makes it so tough for a hitter.
Sandy looking McKenzie back, now the 0-1. Breaking ball further inside this time, it's 1-1. Well, John Peck at shortstop is playing pretty close to the second base bag. He's practically standing behind McKenzie as he's taken his lead off second base. And Matt Shaw at second base is playing way over deeper into the hole between first and second, playing Borfin to pull. 1-1 delivery to Borfin, swinging a foul off as Borfin lost his grip with one of his hands and ended up swinging the bat one-handed. 1-2 the count now as Borfin motions for something from the dugout.
Get some tar, some pine tar. Put it towards the middle part of the bat. That's exactly where he's going to put it. Haven't seen that too many times from hitters this season.
Haven't seen a lot of flung bats either. Guys lose the grip on the swing.
That's why you put it in the middle of the bat, the pine tar. Grab a little bit, put it on your batting gloves, and get a good grip.
With the count 1-2 with 2 down and 2 men on at first and second, Borfin's now trying to grip and rip against left-hander Will Sandy, who's ready. Sandy looks back. McKenzie now goes into his wind. The 1-2 down low. It's 2-2.
How about the numbers Jace Borfin has been putting up ever since being an everyday starter?
You figure if he was here for longer in the summer, he too would have his hat in the ring for possible MVP if he had kept this pace up the whole time. But a late addition from Arkansas after the Razorbacks ventured into the College World Series. Borfin in for today, hitting .289. 2-2 pitch is a swing and a fly ball to right center field. Shaw racing back from second, calling everybody off. It makes the catch easily in shallow right center
anyone in
field.
the construction area down the first base line.
Well, that ends the top of the 3rd inning. The Doors get a hit, no runs, no errors, and leave 2 men on base. We head on to the bottom of the 3rd. Brito, Slight, and Horvath, the heart of the Bourne order, coming up to hit when we come back. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Well, back here at Doran Park, as we head on to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's 2-0. The Bourne Braves lead over the Falmouth Commodores right now. Falmouth just had its most promising offensive chance in the top of the 3rd, but stranded a pair of runners as Chris Brito now stands into the right-handed batter's box, opposing left-hander Will Johnston. The Doors starter today, who's on for inning number 3, with Evan Slight, the left fielder, on deck, and Mac Horvath, the right fielder, in the hole. First pitch to Brito. Fastball on the outer half, and that one had some juice from Johnston. It's 0-1.
Also had some paint trailing from it because that was a paint job there from Johnston.
0-1 delivery. Johnston working quickly. It's a breaking ball down and into Brito. 1-1 the count. on the right-handed hitting first baseman, and some kind of season Brito has had this summer. Now, this Rutgers Scarlet Knight entered this evening with a .284 average and a whole lot of other gaudy numbers as well. 1-1 from Johnston, swinging a ground ball to second base, but Halter had him played a shade over towards the bag, and the throw on to first well in time for out number 1.
Did Chris Brito almost
Left
stumble
fielder
running
number
down that
27 out
first
of
base
Rutgers,
line? He
Evan
got
Slight.
a weird jump out of the batter's box, but still no dice would have been retired either way. Now here comes another Rutgers Scarlet Knight.
Well, these two RU guys hitting back-to-back in the lineup today. Brito in the 3-hole, Slight hitting cleanup as the left-handed hitting left fielder stands in with 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 3rd. Johnston's first delivery, breaking ball, and that one had some good bite, 0-1.
Something Johnson needs to do here is have a quick inning. He faced 6 batters in the first, 5 in the second. Needs to limit it here.
0-1 delivery is down low, skips off the gear of Neareye and bounds up way high off the net. It gets 1-1. But Johnston's working quickly here, more quickly than we saw him in either of the first 2 innings. He's trying to get himself into a good rhythm. 1-1 pitch, swinging a foul back by Slight, and it's 1-2.
Didn't even wait for the bat boy for the Falmouth Commodores to get back behind their cage.
Well, Neareye is behind the plate, just catching this ball, throwing it back, and Johnston's been ready right away. He now takes an extra moment here to exhale. Now ready with the 1-2. The pitch, swinging a light tapper off the plate, foul right off the brick backstop here at Doran Park. And it stays 1-2. Slight grounded out his first time up back in the first inning to second base. Taking his second cracks today, wheels the bat around to the rear shoulder. 1-2 pitch from Johnston, swinging another ground ball to second base. Halter doesn't have to move his feet, taps the glove and fires on to first. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Well, if things weren't working exactly how Johnston wanted in the first 2 innings, he's
Right fielder
quickened his
number
pace
21
here
out of North Carolina,
and got
Mac
2 fast outs here
Horvath.
in the 3rd inning. Mac Horvath is now the batter. Right fielder hitting 5th, who doubled his first time up to drive in 2 in the first. First pitch to Horvath, swinging a ground ball foul left side, and it's 0-1. Righty bat against the lefty Johnston. 2 away, bases empty. 0-1, swinging a drive to left field. Borfin out there underneath it, back a step to make the catch for out number 3. So how about that inning from Will Johnston? 1-2-3. The Braves go down in order. In the heart of the order, Brito, Slight, and Horvath. No dice, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left as we head to the top of the 4th. Pinckney, Brutcher, and Collins, 4, 5, and 6 for Falmouth coming up to hit when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across America to find out more.
Well, welcome back to Doran Park as we head on to the top of the 4th inning. The Falmouth Commodores trail the Bourne Braves right now 2-0 against left-hander Will Sandy, who has been in command so far today. Only 2 hits and a walk allowed and no runs so far on the board for the Doors. Andrew Pinckney now stands in to lead things off in the 4th inning with Drew Brutcher on deck and Corey Collins in the hole. 4, 5, and 6 as Sandy deals to Pinckney. Changeup nicks the outside lower corner, Nothing Pinckney could do with that. It's 0-1. Sandy straightens his arms out, ready to go with the 0-1. Now he winds and delivers. Lower this time, but it's ball one, 1-1. Well, excluding the strikeout today that Pinckney had back in the second inning, Andrew's been very good against left-handed pitching this summer. 1-1 from Sandy. Swinging a rocket foul ball right side, a liner right off the netting above the Falmouth dugout, and it's 1-2.
The exit velo on that foul ball.
Pinckney's been hitting that way against lefties with a .308 average entering the night. 2 doubles and 2 home runs to his credit. 1-2, swinging a liner right to first, gloved by Brito. And there's one away here in the top of the 4th inning. Well, Pinckney struck it well,
Right fielder number
but unlucky
16
on
out of
that
South
drive,
Florida,
and that's the
Drew
first out here in the
Brutcher.
4th with Drew Brutcher coming up.
How slick did Chris Brito look making that play? Caught it, threw it right around the horn, one gone.
Lefty-lefty matchup as Brutcher stands in and takes strike one on the inner half. Breaking ball from Sandy, and it's 0-1. Sandy working quickly, now the 0-1 delivery. Swinging a pop-up very high, left side. Third baseman Eblin over towards the line as Peck comes in from shortstop, calls him off and makes the catch as he walks over the foul line down the third base side. That's out number 2 here at the top of the 4th
hitter
inning.
number 25 out of Georgia, Corey Collins.
So 1 hard out and 1 soft out here in the top of the 4th. The first 2 for the Doors are away. And Corey Collins is the hitter with the bases clear against Will Sandy. 2-0, the Braves lead the Doors here at Doran Park in this Western Division rivalry matchup. The regular season finale between these two teams who very well could meet in the playoffs this year. First pitch to Collins is in for a strike, a fastball from Sandy, and it's 0-1.
Remember how I talked about the Hyannis Harbor Hawks leading the Whitey Red Sox 5-0? It's now a 5-4 ball game in the top of the 4th.
0-1 to Collins is up high, 1-1.
That matters because of first place.
Well, Hyannis leads Bourne by just a single point. The Hawks in first, the Braves in second, tied for second with Katuitt points-wise. But Bourne with a tiebreaker over the Cats. 1-1 to Collins is down low, 2-1. For a lot of this season, Hyannis and YD was kind of a trendy pick for a championship preview. We had a good matchup today that started at 4:30, by the way, with no lights out at Red Wilson Field. Those two teams had to renew acquaintances a little earlier in the day as the 2-1 to Collins is low, and it's 3-1.
Katuitt currently leading the Wareham Gatemen by a score of 4-3, and Katuitt sits at 3rd place, tied with Bourne with 47 points.
So we could have one of 3 teams leading the West by the end of this day, depending on what happens. This game, of course, in play for that. With the Braves up 2-0 right now here in the top of the 4th. 3-1 from Sandy to Collins. A swing and a softly hit ground ball to first. Brito can't come up with it, now recovers, and the throw on to first in time with Sandy covering. Oh, what a play by Chris Brito, who had that ball bounce off his glove on the first hop, recovered and made the flip onto Sandy covering for out number 3. Bourne showing out with the glove work to end the top of the 4th as the Doors go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head on to the bottom of the 4th inning with Peck, Eblin, and Moylan. 6, 7, and 8 in the Bourne order due up when we return. Logan Soforenko will have play-by-play duties the next 2.5 innings when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over! Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across
Welcome back to Doran Park, along with Trey Redfield, our field reporter, and Carter Bainbridge, today's lead play-by-play broadcaster. Logan Soforenko taking you through 2.5 here, bottom of the 4th inning. John Peck will lead things off for the Bourne Braves, the Pepperdine shortstop. He did not play in the last contest where the Commodores defeated the Bourne Braves right before the All-Star break. John Peck flew out to center the last time he was up. First pitch he sees is ripped the other way, right to Colby Halter. He fires over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Third baseman number 2 out of Alabama, Bryce Eblin.
He has. The Braves have grounded out to him 4 times already today. But how about the rhythm of Will Johnston? He's now sat down 5 consecutive hitters. Going back to that strikeout of Shaw to end the 2nd inning. 3 ground ball outs since then as well.
He's been working fast. Had 10 pitches back in the 3rd inning. No strikeouts. First pitch to Eblin. Eblin shows bunt, pulls it back. It doesn't matter. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Eblin struck out looking to lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning. That was on 6 pitches. Well, he talked about it. SEC on SEC. Crimson Tide in the batter's box. Texas A&M Aggie on the mound. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Count even. Oh, Bryce Eblin split some time. Made his primary starts at second base. As the 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Nothing in 2, or 1 and 2, I should say. Took something off of that one. Johnson looking to retire the 6th Bourne Brave in a row. Nelson Taylor had a walk back in the bottom of the 2nd inning with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. A little excuse me swing that's lined to the Bourne Braves dugout. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Well, Johnson didn't have quite a feel for his curveball to start this game as he does now, but that pitch has some serious fangs the last couple innings. That swinging strike to Eblin was one of them, and then he just threw another. Got an ugly half swing for a foul ball.
Now Johnson from the windup fires the 1-2 again. Grounded slowly to the right side. Halter charging. He gloves double pump, and he gets him. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Had to come back and make sure he had a good grip on that baseball.
The designated hitter, number
There it is,
32
another
out of East
4-3
Carolina,
5th
Josh
one of the game.
Boylan.
So these Braves have made 11 outs so far in this game. 5 of them have been 4-3 putouts. But you see the defensive versatility of Halter, who played plenty of second base at Florida this past spring. I mean, he plays a lot of third base here on the Cape when guys get asked to play a little bit outside their comfort zones, but he can pick it over there at second.
First pitch to Moylan's in there for strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count. Well, Moylan, we're going to see Carter Bainbridge go up on WEEI to talk to their team up there. When we were on Nesson, Josh Moylan was in the batter's box for our out. As the 0-1 pitch is grounded left side the other way. McKenzie at 3rd gathers and fires over to 1st. How about that? Another 1-2-3 inning from Will Johnston as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Bourne on top 2-0. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across America to find out more.
Welcome back to Doran Park, along with Trey Redfield, who is Sitting to my left as I look over, Carter Bainbridge is no longer with us for this top half of the 5th inning as he is going on WEI to be interviewed by the Cape League broadcasting team. But still 2-0 the score. Bourne on top. Logan Soforenko with you here. And Trey, you've been sitting here on a beach chair, but you know a thing or two about these Falmouth Commodores. Jacob Walsh leading things off. He loves Doran Park.
Yeah, no, he certainly does, and it's a good thing that I know a little bit about the Falmouth Commodores, right? I mean, they hired me to be one of their broadcasters this season, so it's a good thing that I know a little bit. I do know last time we were here, Walsh hit one over to right field down the line. It was 350 feet. Good hit from Walsh, went over to fence and gone.
He looks at ball one here. Jacob Walsh, in the first 2 contests at Doran Park, he homered in each of those games. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Walsh looks at ball 2, just a little low, 2-0. Will Sandy on for his 5th inning of work. The lefties have been working today in the starter's capacity. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled the other way and out of play. 2-1 the count. Well, Will Sandy has retired the last 5 Commodore batters in a row.
If he gets through this 5th inning, he is eligible for that decision.
Yes. Still working from the windup as the lights are turned on here at Doran Park. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another foul ball out of play, 2-2. Well, this is eerily similar to the last time the Bourne Braves and Commodores squared off here at Doran Park. The Bravos were up 2-0, and all of a sudden the Falmouth Commodores, right around this point in the game, took over. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Did he go around? They appeal over to third. Mike Hinojosa at third says Jacob Walsh checked his swing. The count is now full.
Yeah, good hold up there from Walsh. You know, he was low and in the dirt. Thought about going after the off speed, but made the right move. Now he's living to see another day here.
Here's the payoff pitch. Walsh rips this one into center field. Coming in is Taylor. He lets it drop. It's a leadoff single off the bat of Jacob Walsh. And that's going to bring up Anthony McKenzie.
Third baseman number 1. That
Great piece of hitting there. And it comes down to being disciplined. That's exactly what Jacob Walsh showed right there. The discipline to lay off on the off speed and go after something he likes. You know, Sandy was going to give him something because he has to find the zone on his own end too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Walsh liked it. You know, line shot up the middle in center field. Letting it hop was the center fielder, and now Walsh is on first base.
So now we're going to see a quick little mound visit. The Bourne Braves do have somebody warming up in that bullpen. It is not Scott Landers. It is one of the pitching coaches for the Bourne Braves. 2-0 the score here in the top of the 5th inning. Game number 42 on the regular season. Commodores clinched their playoff spot last night with a 6-4 victory over the YD Red Sox. Commodores are in 4th place, and they cannot advance, so they will get the 4 seed in the 2022 CCBL playoffs. Standings right now, Hyannis with 48 points, they're number 1, and then Bourne and Katuitt both tied with 47 points.
Yeah, honestly, you mentioned that Falmouth is locked into that 4th spot. I would argue that it's best case scenario for the Commodores.
Oh, yeah,
they
absolutely.
have a really good road record. I mean, what is it on the year?
13-5-2.
Yeah, that's not too shabby last time I checked. And knowing the Commodores grabbed their just 5th home win of the season last night, I'm more likely going to rock with road games instead of home games for the Doors to be successful.
First pitch to Anthony McKenzie. He shows bunt. It's in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. And Anthony McKenzie, I talked about it with Carter, had a great bunt yesterday, but we're in the parts of the game where small ball could be in play. Jacob Walsh taking the batting gloves off at first base. No gear to run those bases. Here's the 0-1. Ball in the dirt, count even at 1. Well, Anthony McKenzie singled on 4 pitches back in the 3rd. He was stranded, but he had a good 2-strike approach. Fouled off a couple of pitches with 2 strikes and sent one up the middle that nearly took Will Sandy with him. Count even at 1. Here's the pitch. McKenzie shows bunt, pulls it back, and misses low and inside. 2-1 the count.
McKenzie's got to be smart here with this bunt. Everyone knows it's coming. The corners are coming in immediately. I mean, third baseman's already in the grass when it's coming about. McKenzie's got to be smart and not pop that thing in the air and bury Walsh.
2-1. Ground ball left side, under the glove of Eblin and into left field. And we'll see how they rule that. But Jacob Walsh is at second. Anthony McKenzie's at first. Now here comes Daniel Neary with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning.
To answer that open question, find out what exactly the ruling is.
out of
They
Notre
ruled a
Dame,
hit.
Daniel
So that's Falmouth's
Neary.
4th hit on the evening, and McKenzie with a great piece of hitting going in between the gap of third and shortstop. And now it's up to Danny Neary with an opportunity to put Falmouth on the scoreboard. We've seen him do it earlier in the week where he got himself a 2 RBI single. Let's find out what he can do here, partner.
Well, let's find out if they go to the bullpen in the Bourne Braves, and that very well could be the case.
I think 100%.
Down in that bullpen, I believe it is Nigel Belgrave warming up in the bullpen. But that's going to be it for Will Sandy. We'll take a quick break. Falmouth Commodores have something cooking here. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, back here at Doran Park, Will Sandy's day is done. 4 innings, 4 hits. He walked 1. He's struck out 3. The runs category still empty as he yields to Nigel Belgrave. 2-0 record on the year. 3.97 ERA, 10 appearances, 3 saves, 11 1/3 of work. He's got 8 Ks to his name. He's walked 6 batters and has given up 9 base hits. So now here's Daniel Neary, the catcher out of Notre Dame. First pitch he sees, shows bunt. It's fouled off of the catcher, Alan Espinal. 0-1 the count.
So Belgrave's making his 11th appearance this season on Cape Cod, and out of those 11 appearances, including this one, this has been the earliest time that he has stepped into a baseball game here on Cape Cod this year.
He's
it's
been
pretty.
their closer.
Yeah, he's mainly been their closer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's took on the Commodores 3 times this season. And the last time he was on the mound was in that 10-3 win for the Doors, where he went just 2/3 innings pitched, giving up an earned run, giving up 2 hits as well. It's up to Danny Neary to tack on Belgrave's first hit given up here on July 31st.
Brito coming in at first. Bunt from Neareye. He pulls it back as the pitch is upstairs. Count even at 1. And Chris Brito, the Bourne Braves first baseman, he is collapsing about 70% of the way down that first base line.
And he knows
wants
it's
that
coming.
bunt. Oh, yeah.
I mean, look where he is right now.
He's not even on the dirt, and Belgrave hasn't even come set. He's still getting the sign from the catcher, Alan Espinal. Now he comes set. Neareye shows bunt again. It's fouled off of Alan Espinal, the catcher, again. 1-2 the count.
So now Neareye doesn't really have much of a choice. If he wants to be risky, go ahead, but it's not going to go in your favor.
I
More
don't think
likely
that would
than
be
not.
the move.
No, it's not the move in the slightest.
Well, Neareye does have a couple of RBIs to his name this season. That came the other night at the Gov in a loss to the Harwich Mariners. Belgrave gets his sign, comes set, runners at first and second. As he checks on Walsh and fires the 1-2. Chopper slowly to Brito. Brito fields it, not cleanly. Everybody's safe. The bases are loaded with Alex Mooney coming up to the plate and nobody out.
And they ruled a hit. Wow.
Wow.
They ruled that a base hit? Okay.
There you go. He'll take it.
I'll play.
Shortstop, number 4 out of Duke, Alex Mooney.
So now here's Alex Mooney, who has an opportunity to do something pretty cool right here, partner. He hit an inside the park home run the last time he was here at Doran Park, so anything is possible with the bases loaded and nobody out. It's a 3-run inside the park home run. Walsh at third, McKenzie at second, Neareye over there at first. Belgrave comes set and fires. Mooney looks at ball 1. 1-0 the count. Mooney today 0 for 1. He popped up to Chris Brito back in the first and walked in the third. The lights are on. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Mooney looks at ball 2 outside, 2-0.
And if I'm Mooney, I'm picky. I'm mad picky if I'm Alex Mooney right here. You know, until you get that perfect pitch, especially on the hitter's count, go after it, because Belgrave is more likely than not going to give it to you right here, down 2-0.
Belgrave comes set and fires the 2-0. It gets away from the catcher, Espinal. Walsh coming to the plate. The throw is going to be in time, but Belgrave drops the baseball. Walsh is going to score. It's now 2-1, and the deficit is cut in half. McKenzie advances to third. Daniel Neareye advances to second. And Mooney has the count in his favor, 3-0.
That was some risky business right there from Jacob Walsh. I'm surprised he went, because just like what it is at Gov Fuller Field, it's a brick backstop. So when you have a brick backstop, it's more likely than not going to bounce in the opposite of your favor. You know, it doesn't really work well for the offense. It's like what it is at the Gov. That brick can be your best friend, but could also be your worst enemy. And it was inches away from being Walsh's worst enemy right there on that pass ball.
Here's the 3-0. It's a strike. Good hitters count for Mooney now, 3-1. But Alex Mooney hit a home run last night. That was on the first pitch he saw. He attacked on the first pitch last night 3 times in the victory over YD. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Filthy pitch there from Belgrave, and the count's full.
And you could see where Mooney stopped. His head was turned towards left field. If I'm Mooney here, you know, I'm going full contact here. Keeping your eye on the baseball.
So now the count's full. Runners at second and third. Here's the payoff pitch. It misses outside. Bases are going to be loaded for Colby Halter. The second time today Alex Mooney has drawn ball 4, and those have been the lone walks for the Falmouth Commodores today.
It's exactly what you want from your leadoff man. If he's the one that's getting on base, PA in, PA
Second
out,
baseman, number 7 out
then
of
he's
Florida,
doing the right
Colby
thing.
Halter.
So now here is Halter, who is a big home run hitter, but also they're just trying to get something in the outfield to score runs. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Halter 0 for 2 on the day. 2-1 the score. Falmouth with 5 hits. Here's the pitch. Line to short, making the catch is Peck. He steps on the bag at second, and it's a double play. Well, John Peck was just there at the right time, and there are 2 gone with Jace Borfin stepping into the batter's box.
That is such a tough break. I mean, so
Left fielder,
that
number 7 out
hurts.
of
Like, I
Arkansas,
mean, he was in the
Bourne.
perfect spot over there at shortstop, and Nerai got burned. You know, you got to be smart over there. You never know what's going to be caught. Every ball that's in the air, it's anyone's game, partner. Case in point right there.
So now here is Jace Borfin with 2 outs. First pitch. That's a strike. Nothing in 1 the count. So runners at first and third now. Mooney stays at first base. McKenzie still just 90 feet away. He represents the tying run. Game number 42 on the season. Belgrave comes set, peeks at Mooney at first. About 4 or 5 times and fires the 0-1. Borfin sends this one foul the other way and out of play. Nothing in 2 the count. Borfin today, 0 for 2. Grounded out to second back in the first inning and flew out, or I guess I should say popped out to second back in the third. But it was a traditional outfielder's ball, but Matt Shaw, the vacuum he is, was there. The 0-2. Misses high and upstairs. 1-2 the count. Andrew Pinckney waits on deck. Commodores in their black uniforms. Borfin with the high socks. Looking to get something in the outfield to at least just tie this game. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Borfin grounds one right side. Shaw moving to his left, fires to retire Borfin. The Commodores get just 1 run in that inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 the score. Bourne still on top as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording. Well, back here at Doran
Attention,
Park.
please. New pitcher for Falmouth, number 3 out of
Trey
Lipscomb,
Redfield,
Matthew Bonnert.
Logan Soforenko with you.
Leading off
Matthew
the pitch
Bonnert
for
on
Bourne,
to
the catcher, number
relieve
31 out of Vanderbilt,
Will Johnson.
Alan
Bonnert making
Espinal.
his 2022 Falmouth Commodores season debut. Johnson's day is done. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Here's Alan Espinal. First pitch he sees. Gets in there for strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count. Well, Alan Espinal had that single back in the 2nd inning, and Carter and I talked about it. That Alan Espinal, he's been punishing the Falmouth Commodores this season. Had a 2 RBI day just 2 weeks ago. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
And that 4-3 win for Falmouth. Espinal had himself a home run. It was after he popped some, what was it, Hubble Bubble into his mouth.
Yes.
And we were talking like, what's the deal with that? And
Absolutely.
he's like, I love it.
Well,
next at bat goes yard.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the air to right, towards the line, and towards the foul fence. It gets out of play, 0-2. Well, Alan Espinal, before that game, was 4 for 19. But goes to Vanderbilt, not the everyday catcher, but he's been getting quite a few minutes. He shares minutes with Tomas Frick. Here's the 0-2 again. Espinal goes down swinging. First strikeout from the lefty out of Lipscomb, Matthew Bonner. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Out of Polk
Not a
State,
bad way to have your Commodore
Taylor.
debut go so far, but you got to get 2 more outs. Really important for Bonner to just keep it going. Keep it a 2-1 game and give your offense a chance. An offense that has put up more hits than Bourne's offense, but still does not have more than where it matters most in the run category.
So now here is the outfielder Nelson Taylor. First pitch he sees. He shows bunt. He offers. It's strike 1. Well, Nelson Taylor, a guy that Falmouth Commodores have not seen yet this season. Nelson Taylor hails from Polk State College. He's got just 9 at-bats this summer coming into today, hitting 2 for 9. Does have a home run, though. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Taylor looks at ball 1 inside. Count even at 1. Well, Taylor had that first pitch line out to Anthony McKenzie back in the 1st inning. And then a 5-pitch walk back in the 2nd. Count even at 1. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 2. Good spot there from Bonner. 1-2 the count. Taylor over at Polk State finished up his freshman season where he hit .236 and 2 home runs. He drove in 27. On a 1-2 pitch, Taylor goes down swinging. Another breaking ball. And there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th. But now here's a tough task.
Second baseman, number 24, out of Maryland,
Terrapin, Matt Shaw.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting here. Back-to-back strikeouts from Bonner, but this is best possible scenario right now for Bourne. A lefty on righty matchup, pitcher to batter, and the righty batter is the best on Cape Cod this season, and Shaw is sitting over 360.
First pitch to Shaw is in the dirt, 1-0 the count. Well, he entered today hitting .375 on nearly 130 at-bats.
My God.
He has been absolutely insane, and we talked about it with Carter. MVP candidate, likely the front runner right now. Here's the 1-0. Shaw looks at ball 2 outside.
I mean, it's
2-0 the count.
Seems like as the years go along, it's harder to have a higher batting average like that, but 375 is still impressive. Is it close to Thurman Munson's Cape League record with 420 in 1967? No, but you know what? You'll roll with it.
The 2-0 misses upstairs, 3-0 the count. Daniel Neary tried to snap that thing back down. Shaw today, 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. He also stole a base, but that's nothing new from the Maryland Terrapin. 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Shaw draws ball 4. It's a 2-out walk. And now here comes Chris Brito, who I didn't even recognize coming into the ballpark today. Clean shaven.
Yep.
First baseman, number 28.
Yeah, last time out,
Christopher
the Bourne
Brito.
Braves tied with the Chatham Anglers by a score of 1-1 last night at Veterans Field. Brito hit a ball that has not even landed yet, along with Drew Brutcher's home run that came on June 21st against the Chatham A's.
How about the Hunter Stokely home run they were telling us about from Harwich? He hit one about 80% up the foul or the light pole, I should say.
That's right.
Bonner comes set and fires the first pitch to Brito. It's inside, 1-0.
The last thing you want to do is let Matt Shaw on base. It's tough. You know, now you got to deal with him on the base pass. Shaw's already has stolen base tonight. It's up to 20 on the season and 23 attempts. I mean, my goodness. But you're also dealing with the guy, Chris Brito. If he puts a ball in play and into the gap, Shaw is probably going to score from first base.
Bonner checks on Shaw over at first. No dice. Well, Chris Brito, as of yesterday, has reclaimed his title of leading Cape Cod in exit velocity. He hits the ball hard. He's been doing it all season. Did it at Rutgers as well. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Shaw takes off. Breaking ball is in there for strike 2. Throw to second. Not in time as Shaw stays on the base at second. Or I should say, strike number 1, count even. But Shaw once again swipes a bag.
So now 21 in 24 attempts, Matt Shaw has stolen a base. It is unbelievable what this guy is doing. I mean, he's up in almost every single category, has the home runs, has the RBIs, the batting average is there, the stolen base is there as well. I mean, he was impactful in his first season at Maryland. I mean, he made some all Big Ten teams, freshman, all Big Ten.
270 with Maryland.
Yeah, not too shabby.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. So Brito, who comes into today with 41 strikeouts to his name, has not gone down via way of the K today. He's walked and grounded out to Colby Halter. Commodores will have Pinckney and Brutcher due up in the top of the 6th inning. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, count even at 2. Be Pinckney, Brutcher, and Collins. 2-1 ball game, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, game number 42 on the Cape Cod Baseball 2022 season. Shaw over at second. Bonner comes set. Checks on Shaw, now back at the plate, and here's the pitch. Little jam shot the other way and out of play, and near the construction area behind the first base dugout. We'll do the 2-2 again.
That was the construction area that Braves president had to come over and yell at some kids to get out of there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That's the norm.
The Braves president coming in. Evan Slight on deck, should it get to him. 5-pitch at bat, pitch number 6 on its way. Here it is, Brito. Makes the count full as it misses outside. It's a good at bat here from Brito. But Carter and I were talking about the Matt Shaw-Chris Brito duo, but Slight behind Brito, that's also pretty lethal. Teammates at Rutgers. Full count here on Brito. Here's the pitch. He draws ball 4 with 2 outs. Back-to-back base on balls, and that brings up Evan Slight. But he got a lefty-on-lefty matchup, so not as lethal. Alan Espinal went down swinging. Nelson Taylor went down
Evan
swinging.
Slight.
But back-to-back walks have led Evan Slight into this box with 2 on and 2 out. Mooney playing right behind Matt Shaw at short. Bonner comes set. He checks on Shaw, nobody else. Here's the first pitch. Slight looks at strike 1, 0-1 the count. Slight today, a couple of ground outs to the right side, a 4-3 fielder's choice back in the first. 4-3 ground out the right way back in the third. Here's the 0-1. Slight grounds that one the other way, foul, 0-2. Evan Slight hit .310 with the Scarlet Knights. Was the Big Ten Freshman of the Week in his first season back in 2021. 0-2 the count on him quickly. Commodores trying to escape the jam. Shaw takes his lead. Here's the 0-2. That misses low, 1-2. Daniel Neroy did the little bluff where he held it, walked away, and maybe thought about seeing if it would be strike 3, but no dice.
That's tough. That's the last thing you want to do, because if you get a borderline pitch like that, unwritten rule goes, you probably won't get it.
Right, that is correct.
Knowing the body language.
So 1-2 the count now on Evan Slight. Here's the pitch, Slight. Looks at another breaking ball that misses, 2-2. That breaking ball hasn't really been working these past couple of batters. Kind of just blew the fastball by Espinal and Taylor. The sun setting more and more here at Doran Park. Good crowd on hand. Monarch comes set. Shaw gets a great jump and he goes as it's a chopper to the right side. Walsh is there at first and he steps on the bag. He wins the race. And that's that. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 2-1 the score. Bourne still on top. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across America to find out more.
We welcome you back to Doran Park along with Carter Bainbridge. So great to have you back. Logan Soforenko with you. Carter was just interviewed on WEEI, and it's always good to have Carter in the booth and the gang just for about another week, it should feel like, no matter how the playoffs go. Coming down the stretch. 2-1 the score here in the top of the 6th inning. Andrew Pinckney on the first pitch chops one slowly to the left side. The third baseman, Eblin, gets Pinckney in time. Boy, you blinked, you might have missed that thing. That came in about, what, 85 off of the arm of Eblin? Fantastic arm. One gone.
We've seen solid defense
Right
all
fielder,
around the
number 16,
diamond
South
today.
Florida,
Neither of these
Drew
teams entered the day
Butler.
very highly ranked in defense. The Doors have still made the most errors out of any team on the Cape. The Braves have been better defensively lately, but still in the bottom half in errors. But we've seen some really gold glove quality infield play tonight all around.
So now here's Brutcher with one out. He looks at strike one. Nothing and 1 the count. Brutcher today 0 for 2, a pop-up and a strikeout looking. 0-1 is grounded right back to the pitcher, Belgrave. Underhand tosses in time. 2 quick outs from Nigel Belgrave, and that's going to bring up Corey Collins.
Designated hitter number 25 out of Georgia, Corey Collins.
Seen a couple of dandies like that. The one that comes to mind is a backhanded snag from one of the relief pitchers at the Harwich game at White House Field the other day. But Alex Mooney actually beat out that throw. It was a behind-the-back snag. First pitch to Collins. Fouled behind home plate, right off the brick wall. 0-1. Brick backstop, brick wall. You like to say brick facade. A lot of big names for a backstop that is very friendly to bounces back to catchers.
Corey Collins got robbed earlier in this game on a good defensive play. That 3-1 putout from Brito to Will Sandy back in the 4th inning that Brito bobbled and then recovered and then threw on to the pitcher covering.
Here's the 0-1. That catches some strike zone. Nice little breaking ball there from Belgrave. His stuff has been working. Got out of a big jam back in the 5th that was set up by Sandy. But Belgrave trying to get a clean top of the 6th inning. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Popped up foul right off the screen behind home plate. We'll do the 0-2 again. And for the second time today, we're seeing a Falmouth Commodores batter go reach for the pine tar as Corey Collins walks to the on-deck circle. And he's grabbing the pine tar and applies it on the middle parts of the bat as one normally does to get a better grip on the bat.
It's funny because this weather today is not all that humid. You'd expect it out of a day where it's kind of soupy and guys are sweating a lot. But it's a very, very pleasant day here for baseball and cool enough to the point where we may be wearing jackets by the time this game's over.
Last time that happened, that was at Spillane Field. The early parts of the season. 0-2 again on Collins. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, 1-2.
And we know Belgrave has the 4-seam fastball, a slider, and then a 2-seam fastball. Then Matt Levine, Maryland broadcaster this past season, who saw Belgrave pitch in 16 games for the Terps, told us When that pitch is on, usually batters can't do anything with it. It's the difference maker for this right-hander.
Here's the 1-2. Count even at 2 as it misses outside. There's that pitch again. But he talked about the weather and the final day of July as we turn the calendar over to August. Tomorrow with the Falmouth Commodores traveling to Spillane Field taking on the Wareham Gatemen. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Great inning from Nigel Belgrave as the Commodores go down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1 the score. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over! Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across America to find out more.
Doors up by
Back here at Doran Park, along with Carter Bainbridge, Logan Soforenko on hand, saying quick hi to the Bourne Braves play-by-play broadcaster, Cal Cristoforo, who is down here sitting in the lawn chair, taking a peek at the action down field side. Mac Horvath will lead things off for the Bourne Braves. Had the 2-run double, the only base hit that drove in some runs for the Bourne Braves today. That was back in the 1st inning with 2 outs. Bonnet on to work for the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low as it's spiked. 1-0 the count. Well, Mac Horvath talked about the home run he hit against the Commodores, the walk-off grand slam. He's got the power. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball is in there for strike 1, count even.
Horvath so far with the only run production for Bourne today. That 2-run double in the first now seems like a long time ago.
It does. This game's going by pretty fast, though. Here's the 1-1. That tails away from Neareye. 2-1 the count. Well, the sun is officially at the level where if you're playing at a ballpark that doesn't have lights, the game is probably called by now. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Chopped off himself. Count even at 2. And, of course, I say that. Hyannis Harborhawks and the Whitey Red Sox, they're in the bottom of the 8th inning at Red Wilson Field. Hyannis leads by a score of 7-5, and that means something for the Bourne Braves as far as the first place battle. But Katuitt defeats the Wareham Gatemen, and Katuitt is currently tied with Bourne for 47 points in the Western Division. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Horvath takes ball 3 outside, and we had to wait for a second. That pitch missed by just a couple of inches. Count full.
Awfully close for Bonner, but I think a fair call there from home plate umpire Luis DeLuise. Just a little bit off the plate.
So now here's the payoff pitch. Little 2-strike swing. That's fouled the other way. We'll do the full count pitch again. It's like he waited, sat there, and just threw the bat, and he put some contact to stay alive.
Well, Bonner's got decent stuff, and what he has is going to break down. Fastball in the low 90s, curveball high 70s, and then a splitter. You don't see that a lot from left-handed pitching, but Bonner does have one in the low 80s.
Here's the payoff pitch again. Horvath fouls this one behind home plate. Good little at-bat here, worked by Horvath. 7 pitches in this at-bat. Well, right here at Doran Park, what could be the last time the Commodores travel to Bourne. Goalposts out in left center field and center field. Flagpole in straightaway center. Big at bat here. 8th pitch of the at bat on its way. It's a walk. A leadoff walk issued to Mac Horvath. So now here comes John Peck. It's the 5th walk to a Bourne Braves batter. Mike Landry, the pitching coach for the Falmouth Commodores, walking around that dugout and now out of the
Shortstop,
dugout
number
and back
16
in.
out of Pepperdine, John Peck.
So now here's John Peck, who has been retired very quickly these first couple of at-bats. He flew out on 3 pitches in the first and grounded out on 1 pitch in the 4th. Horvath takes his lead at first. Here's the first pitch. He takes off. That's a strike. Thrown to second is in time to get him. Danny Neary guns down Mac Horvath. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-1 the count on John Peck.
Well, both the Braves and Horvath do a fair bit of running. The Braves entered tonight in 2nd place in stolen bases in the league, and Horvath had 8 and 11 tries, but no dice there.
The 0-1 pitch misses outside, count even at 1. John Peck, we heard it on the PA, Pepperdine wave, hit .370 with the Waves out in Malibu, but an .805 man went to Moore Park High School out in Southern California. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 the count as it's spiked. Moore Park, great high school program out there. You know who John Peck probably saw a lot in high school? Rock Riggio of Chatham. Thousand Oaks and Moore Park playing each other a lot. But now here he is on Cape Cod. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Count even at 2.
And unfortunately for Peck, the contact just hasn't really come over from Pepperdine. Hitting the high 300s with the Waves this spring, but down to 209 entering the day with Bourne. He's played around the infield for most of this summer.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is chopped off on Neary. We'll do the 2-2 again. He is the starting shortstop today. But John Peck, so credited with Pepperdine, just finished his sophomore season, but he's only hitting .209 on Cape Cod. Looking for his first home run of the season.
And the question for Bourne as they get into the playoffs is how much they're going to get from the lower part of their lineup. Because you can talk all day about Shaw, Brito, Slight, and Horvath, but 6 through 9 in this lineup, Peck, Eblin, Moylan, and Espinal, no one's hitting higher than .216. Got to get the production somewhere from your lower third.
2-2. Grounded the other way. Halter moving to his left, bobbles and fires over to first, and John Peck is retired. Boy, that was a rocket off of the bat of John Peck, but there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th.
Third baseman, number 2 out of Alabama, Bryce.
And again,
Edwin.
good defense today. We've seen it for both teams. Halter's been busy over there at second base. By my count, that's his 6th ground ball. You were about to say it.
My goodness.
And Brito had to field a hot shot back in the 4th inning off the bat of Corey Collins. Then a similar play. Hard hit by Peck, but on the ground. Had some spin on it that Halter had to deal with, but he stayed with it.
First pitch to Bryce Eblin is a breaking ball that misses inside. 1-0 the count. Well, Bryce Eblin, who is at third base today, is 0 for 2 on the night. No more Wyatt Hensler for the Bourne Braves. He plays in third for the Bravos. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 the count as it misses low. We're cruising through this game. The Commodores will have Jacob Walsh, Anthony McKenzie, and Danny Neary due up in the top of the 7th inning. Doors' second to last road game on the regular season. Here's the 2-0. That misses outside, 3-0, and now Matt Bonnard has to be careful to not have back-to-back innings where he issues 2-out walks.
No, he just can't keep falling behind hitters. He's already walked 3 in this game in just an inning and 2/3.
3-0. Well, he walks Bryce Eblin on 4 pitches, and that's going to bring up Joshua Moylan. Walk number 6 for the Bourne
number 32
offense.
out of East Carolina, Josh.
But that's
Moylan.
the book on Bonnard. I mean, this spring at Lipscomb, pitched in 25 games to a 3.46 ERA and held opponents to a 1.19 average in 41 2/3 innings. So the stuff is great. He's limiting hits, but walked 33 in those 41 2/3. So the command is what's trying to shape up for Bonnard here, and he's laboring through this outing so far.
First pitch to Moylan is in there for strike 1, 0-1. Moylan 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a ground out. Moylan Moylan hails from East Carolina. They went pretty deep in the postseason in the Division I NCAA tournament. 0-1. Good stop from Neareye, but taking off for second is Eblin. The throw is in time to get him. The second runner gunned down this inning by Danny Neareye, and we go to the top of the 7th inning. 2-1 the score. Falmouth trailing by 1. Carter Bainbridge has got you the rest of the way as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So, here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Well, we're on to the back third of things here at Doran Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Bourne Braves, with the Braves in front right now by a score of 2-1. Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Soforenko and our field reporter Trey Redfield at Doran Park today. As the sun begins to set out here in Bourne, Massachusetts, Jacob Walsh, the Falmouth first baseman with 7, 8, and 9 due up for the doors in this top of the 7th against right-hander Nigel Belgrave. First pitch to Walsh, to swing and a high drive to center field. Taylor headed over to his right into the left center field gap and makes the catch, backing up a few steps onto the warning track, but that's out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning.
It's probably the loudest ball we've heard all day off the bat. I mean, my goodness. Just a fly out, but the ball has just not been carrying today.
Well, it certainly hasn't. Not in a 2-1 game. The Braves have just 2 runs on 3 hits, and the Doors have just a run on 5 hits. Bourne hasn't scored since the first inning. The Doors scratched out a run in the 5th after 3 straight singles opened things up against a pair of Bourne pitchers. Belgrave's first pitch to McKenzie is a swing and a foul left side. It's 0-1. The base is empty here, top of the 7th inning. Jacob Walsh just gave the first pitch he saw a pretty good ride to center field, but ended up a fly-out victim. Anthony McKenzie at the plate, switch hitter batting left-handed against the righty Nigel Belgrave. 0-1 pitch to McKenzie, clips the inside corner, 0-2. McKenzie today, 2 for 2. Singled back in the 3rd and the 5th. He's now 7 for his last 14 at the plate. 0-2, up high, 1-2. That stretches the last 7 games or so, sorry.
His stuff is just nasty. I mean, my goodness, the fact that 93 should not be able to move like that. It probably is coming in harder.
1-2, check swing by McKenzie, a little low, and it's 2-2. I was surprised to see Belgrave come into this game so early. I don't know about you, but when he came in the 5th, this guy has a high leverage power arm out of the Bourne bullpen. We've seen him later in games than this.
Got 3 saves this year.
With the Braves, imagine they have a lot on the line today. They're trying to win. 2-2 to McKenzie, caught the inside corner, strike 3 called. Well, McKenzie wasn't sure at first, but then realized he had been had for out number 2. Another strikeout in the books for Belgrave, his second today. And Danny Neareye, the catcher and number 9 hitter, now stands in with 2 down and the bases empty here in the top of the 7th inning. Like you said, nasty stuff from Belgrave so far in this game. Left-handed hitting Neareye looks at the first pitch and drifts outside for ball 1. Well, it was Neary who was the first man in this game to face Belgrave and ended up with an infield hit right in front of the plate. Reached first base, eventually was out on that double play liner by Colby Halter. 1-0, swing and a miss by Neary. It's 1-1.
Swung right through that thing.
Neary on the season now, 3 for 23 at the plate since he came over from Notre Dame about a week or so ago. 1-1 from Belgrave. A little bit low, and it's 2-1. Neary takes a half a practice swing in the left-handed batter's box, trying to regroup with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the top of the 7th. Bourne leading Falmouth 2-1. 2-1 from Belgrave, swinging a liner into right center field. It drops down, a base hit. Taylor picks it up on a roll as Neary puts the brakes on at first base, and it's a 2-out single for Danny Neary. Give him a 2 for 3 days so far. And more importantly, it brings the top of the Falmouth order back around here in the top of the 7th, starting with Alex Mooney.
And that snaps a streak of 7 straight Falmouth Commodores retired by Nigel Belgrave.
Well, Belgrave had sat down every hitter in order since Colby Halter lined into that 6 unassisted double play in the 5th. Now Mooney in the leadoff spot swings the first pitch and fouls it right off his foot. 0-1 the count. Tough way to start Mooney's 4th plate appearance of the day. Alex is 0 for 1 with 2 walks so far in this game. He's gone no further than first base either time he's been on, though.
He's grabbing that. There's actually an Evo Shield guard right on top of the back part of where his leg goes into his foot. He's grabbing it, so thank God that Evo Shield guard was there.
0-1 the count with Neary at first base. 2 down, top of the 7th inning. Belgrave goes into his wind. 0-1 delivery to Mooney. On the outer half, strike 2, 0-2. That pitch just did get the corner for Belgrave. And now Mooney saddled with an 0-2 count. Falmouth shortstop, right-handed hitter, wheels the bat around to the rear shoulder. 0-2 pitch. Swinging a pop foul back of the plate, left side, and way out of play. It stays 0-2.
Boy, Mooney is not afraid to attack on a high-pitched slider, right? I mean, he has a home run off of them against the Wareham.
Tonight's foul balls are brought to you by Mark Schilling and Wham Consulting Engineers and Inspections.
Mooney now ready with those wrists on the bat up near his right ear, holding the bat up above his shoulder. Belgrave puts the ball in glove, and now the 0-2 pitch on the way to Mooney. Swinging a ground ball, softly hit left side. Eblin to his left from third, off balance throw in time, and that ends the top of the 7th inning. Well, the Doors get a 2-out single, but don't score. No runs, no errors, and they leave a man. We head on to the bottom of the 7th. Moylan, Espinal, and Taylor, 8, 9, and 1 for Bourne, due up in their order. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So, here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Well, we're headed on to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Doran Park with the Falmouth Commodores trailing the Bourne Braves 2-1 in what's been a pitcher's duel and low-scoring affair so far. And speaking of pitchers, Falmouth now has a new one on the mound, replacing left-hander Matthew Bonnard. It's right-hander George Arias making his second appearance of the summer.
His only appearance came in the Harwich game, which the Falmouth Commodores were defeated by a score of 11-7. Had 1 run, it was earned. He gave up 2 hits, he walked 1, and only faced 3 batters. But Josh Moylan leading this inning off, he gets to get another at-bat because his last at-bat was cut short because of a runner getting thrown out.
Josh Moylan, lefty bat at the plate. First pitch from Arias is down low and inside. 1-0 the count. Well, you said it. It was an inauspicious beginning for this right-hander back on July 26th. In a game the Doors led 7-3 against the Harwich Mariners. Arias was one of the 3 pitchers who came in the 6th inning during a 6-run Harwich outburst as Moylan fouls the pitch back, and it's 1-1. So Arias looking for his first Cape out after facing 3 batters and giving up 2 hits and a walk to the Mariners. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning with Moylan, Espinal, and Taylor due up 8-9 and 1 in the Bourne order. 1-1 to Moylan, drifts low, 2-1 the count. So Arias just finished up his junior spring out at Arizona in the Pac-12 with the Wildcats. Didn't have to go far from home. He's a native of Tucson. The wind in the 2-1 to Moylan is a swing and a high drive to right field. Brutcher coming in from right, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Well, Drew didn't have to move a whole lot. Came in slowly to make the catch, and that's the first out of the season for Arias.
Oh, nothing is traveling tonight. Everything seems to be off the end of the bat. Not many balls going into the outfield. We saw back-to-back plays where Mac Horvath lost his hat and retired a batter, but still, not much out there.
Arias now dealing with Alan Espinal. First pitch to the Bourne catcher. Caught the corner on a breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Tough take there for Espinal, but a good spot for Arias. With 1 away and the base is clear here in the bottom of the 7th inning at Doran Park. The lights are on and the sun has set. 0-1 delivery. A little bit low for Arias this time, and it's 1-1.
Well, Bourne, they got to get back into second place because if they win this game, because now Katuitt won, they're at 49 points. If the Bourne Braves win this one, they'll be at 49 points, and they own the tiebreaker.
1-1 delivery from Arias, swinging a ground ball, hot shot to third base. McKenzie picks it, taps the glove, and fires on to first for out number 2. Well, nicely done by McKenzie over at third, in a spot he's been playing more of lately on the summer. A fine play by the Sam Houston State Bearcat gets the Doors the second out here in the bottom of the 7th.
He came off the bench yesterday. Colby Halter was the starting third baseman in the YD victory. Was moved over to second. Amac came in and played some third. And here he is today for the entirety of the game.
So here's Nelson Taylor, the center fielder, who's 0 for 2 today with a walk. First pitch from Arias down and in. Gloved by Neareye, and it's 1-0. With 2 outs, base is clear. Bottom of the 7th inning at Doran Park. The Braves are trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time since the bottom of the 1st inning when right fielder Mac Horvath drove in 2 on a double. And Bourne's been all quiet since then. 1-0 pitch to Taylor. Again low and inside. It's 2-0. And like you said, Logan, just not much carrying today in the outfield. These Falmouth Commodores entered the day first in the entire Cape League in home runs. And Bourne entered 4th in that category. So these are 2 teams that can really hit the long ball. But no such luck today. Arias winds in the 2-0. Swinging a foul off the knee pads of Neareye, and it's 2-1. Arias has taken a pretty long journey to get here, all things considered, if you're just talking about mileage. A native of Arizona who previously pitched in the Alaska Baseball League. That was in the summer of 2019. So you want to talk about a temperature change going from Tucson up to play for the Matsu Miners.
The Matsu Miners.
2-1 delivery to Taylor's low and inside again. It's 3-1. But it kind of pales in comparison to what Arias' father did during his baseball career. He played for the Angels and the Padres in the late 90s, but then went on to have a pretty stellar career over in Japan. Spent a couple years with the Oryx Blue Wave. He played a season with Ichiro Suzuki with that team.
There you go.
A couple more years over there, had over 100 career home runs as Taylor grounds this pitch to first base. Walsh gloves it on a backhand pick, and the flip to Arias in time for out number 3. Well, some more solid defense from the Doors ends the bottom of the 7th inning. And how about the second appearance for George Arias? He sits down the Braves 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
By just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Well, we're on to the final 2 innings here at Doran Park in a game that has flown right by. The Falmouth Commodores trail the Bourne Braves 2-1 right now, with Colby Halter, Jace Borfin, and Andrew Pinckney 2, 3, and 4 for the Doors due up against a new pitcher into the game, left-hander Craig Scherer, a native of Skinny Atlas, New York, does his pitching collegiately for the UAlbany Great Danes.
Well, how about the effort by Nigel Belgrave? 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and he struck out 2 and got out of a big jam. But it's another lefty on the second one the Doors will see today.
Well, the Doors didn't have much luck against starter Will Sandy, who went 4+ innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and struck out 3. As we said, entering the day, the Doors against left-handed pitching hit just 183 as a team. And not a lot of success so far today against either Bourne pitcher so far. Scherer is now the 3rd, making his 4th appearance of the summer. Scherer comes in with a 2.84 ERA in his first 6 1/3 innings. Last appeared the 27th of July against Harwich in a victory. First pitch to Colby Halters off the dirt, skims the plate, and it's 1-0 on Colby, who's 0 for 3 today. It's had a hard luck kind of evening. Playing second and hitting second, he has grounded out, flown out, and then lined into a double play. 1-0's in for a strike. It's 1-1.
Come on, Colby, let's go.
Scherer exhales, now goes into his wind, and the 1-1 on the way to Halter. Breaking ball, snaps in for a strike, 1-2.
They're looking for their first extra base hit of the day, if I'm not mistaken, the Falmouth Commodores.
They are. It's been all singles so far. 1 run on 6 hits, all of them of the 1 base variety. 1-2, fouled back by Halter. It stays 1-2. Well, these Doors do a lot of slugging. I mean, they've been hitting for power this season. It's interesting development for a team that struggled for so long on offense. But coming into today, only Katuitt had a higher slugging percentage than these Doors at .348. Halter ready for the 1-2. Scherer winds and deals. Up high and in. 2-2 the count.
Well, he wanted to bite there. Good for Colby for laying off of that high cheese.
Well, Colby's done a lot of slugging this summer as well. 6 doubles, 7 home runs to his credit. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him swinging. for the first out here in the top of the 8th inning. An 0-for-4 collar on Colby now.
Left fielder
with
number
Jace
9
Borfin coming to the plate with
Jace
1 away and the
Borfin.
base is clear.
The Falmouth Commodores, along with the Bourne Braves, there haven't been that many strikeouts today. That was just the 6th strikeout from a Falmouth Commodore bat. But if anyone could ignite this offense, right now would be Jace Borfin.
Lefty-lefty matchup as Scherer winds and fires. High and tight, 1-0 on Borfin. Well, uncharacteristically, Jace today 0-for-3. Ground out, pop up, ground out. All 3 outs ended innings. 1-0 pitch to him, swinging a foul to the left side, way out of play over the fence. And it's 1-1 on the Commodores' left fielder.
Well, something Borfin has not done today is strike out. A couple of ground outs to second and a pop out to second. That was back in the 3rd where Matt Shaw was basically an outfielder there.
1-1 delivery from Scherer. Swinging a line drive to left center field. That's going to split the gap and get down. Fielded by Slight, who came over quickly to cut it off. And a solid play from the Bourne outfield prevents Borfin from taking second base. Instead, it's a 1-out single here in the top of the 8th inning.
Fielder number 24.
The second that left the bat,
Andrew
I'm thinking,
Pinckney.
ooh, a gap shot. There's the extra base hit, but you said it, great relay. But also Jace Borfin, he's had a little bit of a bad relationship with testing the arms of outfielders. So wisely so, slammed on the brakes at first. Now here comes Pinckney with 1 out.
And what you're referring to is that would-be triple that Borfin tried to get in the 8th inning of a game against Hyannis out at the Gov. He was thrown out to make the first out at third base in a game the Doors eventually lost by 1. Here's Andrew Pinckney with Borfin at first base and 1 down in the top of the 8th inning. Scherer throws over to first. And Jace is back. We talk about the hitting that Borfin does, but he can steal a base as well. He's 5 for 5 on steal tries this summer. This is the first time he's been on base with second base open. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go here. First pitch to Pinckney is down low, a breaking ball as it gets off of Espinal, but not far enough for Borfin to try anything. I want to know the count on the Falmouth center fielder. Pinckney so far today is 0 for 3. So as you look up and down this lineup, some of the usual run producers, Halter, Borfin, Pinckney, and Brutcher, have been struggling. No mystery why the Doors have 1 run today, as the 1-0 breaking ball snaps in for a strike on Pinckney. It's 1-1. Well, Craig Scherer just finished up his redshirt sophomore spring at UAlbany, where he led the Danes in strikeouts with 75. And pitches like that are probably a big reason why. 1-1 delivery to Pinckney. Another breaking ball, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Wow.
Real hammer put on display by this left-hander.
Well, that had less velocity than the one that got Halter swinging. That one was ridiculously faster than that pitch.
And on a guy like Pinckney who hits left-handed pitching very well. Borfin at first, 1 out. Scherer throws over, and Borfin again is back. He hasn't taken much of a lead and hasn't shown that he's trying to go, at least not yet. But in a 1-run game, the Braves have to be alert. They've got a lot to lose tonight in terms of playoff seeding, with Hyannis and Katuitt already victorious on the evening. Borfin goes on the 1-2, check swing by Pinckney, it's down low. The throw to second in time, as Shaw applied the tag. And for the first time this summer, Jace Borfin is gunned down trying to steal a base. He's now 5 for 6 in that category and makes the second out here at the top of the 8th. Well, 2-2 the count. Pinckney standing around at home plate. We saw the pitch taken down low. But now we heard Jeff Trundy take issue. Pinckney's languishing around to the plate with a grin on his face. Apparently a strikeout victim.
They're calling interference on Andrew Pinckney.
How about that? First time we've seen that called this summer.
It's only fitting we get some sort of crazy calls against the Bourne Braves.
Well, Jeff Trundy's not happy with home plate umpire Luis DeLuise, and
Fans will be
you might have been able to heard some of it on our
50-50
crowd mic.
raffle in the middle of the inning. Please get your tickets
Pinckney's
out.
still standing around in the
We'll be
right-handed
announcing
batter's
50-50
box with the
winners
entire Bourne defense
in the middle
off
of the
the
inning.
field.
Thank you.
The 3 umpires are conferring about this. Mike Hinojosa, Mike Farman, and Luis DeLuise. But it was a good catch for you, Logan, to actually see what had happened, because I was thinking that they called that pitch a ball for sure.
It was initially a ball, and that's what they're saying.
It's such a rare call in this league that you almost don't expect it.
Oh, absolutely.
But if they rule that Pinckney got in the way of Espinal as he was trying to throw, well, they could call him out for that. It's just not something that you see a whole lot. More often you see hitters hit catchers' mitts on catcher's interference.
Well, we're looking at the Bourne Braves TV broadcast. Pinckney is a little bit in the way of Espinal, but not interfering.
He was
with
ducking
the
out of the
throwing
way,
arm. Yeah.
which is what makes it surprising to me. Pinckney didn't look like he thought anything was wrong at first. He's still just kind of standing there in the box as we view the replay that unfortunately we can't share with you at home.
That is the truth.
But now Scott Landers is really upset about something. Pinckney's still in the batter's box.
Well, already one of the Falmouth Commodores in Bourne Braves games is still under review for protest, so can't have another one, right? Really interesting right now how they're explaining this to Scott Landers because the Bourne defense is still in their dugout. So Landers is arguing as if this inning is going to continue with Pinckney in the batter's box.
Well, Pinckney's just standing there taking practice swings with everybody else off the field, and there's some pretty intent players and coaches with hands on hips trying to listen in on the conversation taking place on the field right now. It's Scott Landers who is very animated and pretty heated as he now takes back to the dugout. He was talking with the umpires about halfway up the third base line.
Well, the defense is coming back out.
Oh, they're really upset over there in that Bourne dugout. Well, Scott Landers has made himself heard this summer in a couple different games. He is a fiery guy, and he's picking up quite a bit on our microphones here to give you an idea of how heated he's been with this call. Bourne defense is back on the field, as you said, with the count 2-2 now, still on the scoreboard. 2 away.
I want to apologize to all of our listeners.
The runner was out stealing. However, the call of interference has been overturned.
Noise that might have picked
Count
up
is
on our
2-2
microphones.
with 2 outs.
Baseball is a heated game sometimes.
Well, Landers ought to be careful. He's going to get himself thrown out of this game. We've seen that a couple managers on the Cape. That happened to them this summer.
He's one of them. Kelly Nicholson, Tom Holliday, a couple of guys on Cape Cod.
So Scherer back on the mound, and the Bourne defense now back on the field. Pinckney steps out, and they're going to give Scherer a pitch to get himself right.
But could you even imagine if the Falmouth Commodores do something huge right here?
Well, it wouldn't be too unlike what happened in the last time the Doors were here. 2-2 pitch from Scherer, breaking ball down low. It's 3-2.
Falmouth dugout loves it. They love that take. Pinckney having a good laugh. Rutcher on deck likewise.
2 outs, base is empty. Still the top of the 8th here after some pretty interesting umpiring developments. Pinckney still at the bat. 3-2 pitch from Scherer. Swinging a ground ball down the third baseline. Fair ball. Down the left field line as Slight goes over to pick it up. Pinckney motoring into second and slides in with a 2-out double. So how quickly things change here at Doran Park. Andrew Pinckney given a second life in that at bat. He hands over his batting gloves to Brian Tomasini, the first base coach, with a big grin on his face. And here in the top of the 8th inning, the Doors have the tying run in scoring position and Drew Brutcher about to come up to hit. Scherer on the mound. The Bourne defense comes in along with Scott Landers, and we could very well see a pitching change right here.
Well, nobody in that bullpen just yet warming up. At least with our eye that we can see, we can have a good, pretty good vantage point of the bullpen. Guys are just starting to get loose. But, Carter, it makes you think, what if Jace Borfin was on and not thrown out? We've said that a couple of times this season.
Well, I suppose if Bourne wants to get contentious about that call, that's just the argument that you could give back to them. You still got an out on that play. It's just up to Scherer to make a quality pitch to Pinckney with 2 strikes already.
In the middle of the inning.
Well, not like Andrew was just given second base. He had to earn it there with a good swing.
16 out of South Florida, Drew Brutcher.
So here's Drew Brutcher with Pinckney at second base, and the Doors trailing by just a run here in the top of the 8th inning. It's been a pitcher's duel today at Doran Park, and Craig Scherer is the latest one on the mound for Bourne to keep things going. First pitch to Brutcher is a breaking ball in for a strike. And Drew not happy with that call. He gives a couple words to home plate umpire Luis DeLuise along with a head shake.
That's laughable because it was a ball. Missed by about a foot.
0-1 pitch to Drew. Swinging a foul back, 0-2. Brutcher just did get a piece of that pitch. And he's now down in the count with 2 strikes, 2 down. Pinckney at second base here in the top of the 8th inning. Corey Collins taking practice swings on the on-deck circle as Brutcher whirls the bat around to the rear shoulder, takes a couple half swings at about waist level, and now cocks the bat ready to go. Scherer ready, the 0-2. Swinging a pop-up left side. Slight coming in from left, Peck racing out from short, and it's out of play. A couple Braves defenders giving that ball a pretty good chase, but to no avail. And Brutcher now comes back to the plate, having to readjust the wrist straps on the batting gloves. He takes the bat back from Espinal, who held it out for him. Craig Scherer, this is not exactly the end of this inning that he pictured when he first walked off the mound after that quote-unquote batter's interference on a throw to second on an attempted stolen base by Jace Borfin. But Scherer a strike away from getting out of it. 0-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball foul right side this time, and it stays 0-2.
And Carter, this means a lot more for the Bourne Braves than it does for the Commodores because, like I mentioned in the top part of this inning, the Bourne Braves are trying to play keep up because they want as high of a seed possible for the playoffs. They were the 1 seed last year in the West. Just, you only had 4 teams make it, but still heavy stakes for the Bravos.
Now, that should not be lost in all this. We talked about how hot Scott Landers was over that call, but they've got things on the line today. The Doors, meanwhile, do not. Scherer looking back, Pinckney now the 0-2, swinging a foul back of the plate. Brutcher putting up a good fight here, and it's 0-2. Well, that call very big as well because then you had to bring Scherer back out to face Pinckney, who has slashed well against left-handers this year. And Drew Brutcher is the hottest hitter in this lineup over the past 10 games. He's hit .414 over that span, not including today with 3 driven in. 0-2 to Brutcher. Down low in the dirt, 1-2. And with every pitch that Scherer throws and that Brutcher does not make an out on, you can be sure that the thumb screws over there in that Bourne dugout are getting tighter. Everybody's on pins and needles over there right now. As Brutcher gets back into the lefty box, taking those half swings, Scherer looking in, and now the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, dropped by Espinal as Brutcher now takes off for first base, but the throw to first in time to complete the strikeout. And that's how a very contentious top of the 8th inning ends here at Doran Park. The Doors get 2 hits, a double by Andrew Pinckney, but cannot score. No errors, and they leave a man in scoring position. We head on to the bottom of the 8th with Shaw, Brito, and Slight. The heavy lumber for Bourne due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Well, we're on to the bottom of the 8th inning. here at Doran Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Bourne Braves. It's 2-1 with Bourne leading over Falmouth right now, and the Braves with their heavy hitters coming out to the plate in this inning. Matt Shaw, Chris Brito, and Evan Slight, 2, 3, and 4, due up against right-hander George Arias, who's in for inning number 2. First pitch to Shaw at the knees outside for ball 1. Arias comes set, now the 1-0 from the belt. At the knees again, but this time a strike, it's 1-1.
Could you even imagine if Drew Brutcher gave the Commodores the lead in that inning after the events that led up to it? Couldn't even imagine.
Arias kicks in the 1-1. Breaking ball and a good one at the bottom of the zone. 1-2 on Shaw, who's 1 for 2 today with a run scored, a walk, and 2 stolen bases. Well, those events you were talking about in the top of the 8th inning. We'll get to it in just a moment with the 1-2 on Shaw. Here it is. Check swing and a full strike called at the plate by home plate umpire Luis DeLuise. And for the second time today, Matt Shaw, the Cape League's leading hitter, is a strikeout victim.
Brito.
Chris Brito now at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with 2 walks to increase the Cape League lead in that category that he has. With 1 away, bases empty. Arias' first pitch, a breaking ball and a good one. In for strike 1, 0-1.
Now the question is that a backwards K or forwards K? I think that was backwards. I think that would have been called strike 3. It looked like he might have went around, though.
First strikeout of the day for Arias, and the 0-1 pitch swinging a ground ball to short. Mooney has to backhand it awkwardly. Bounce throw across the diamond in time for out number 2. Oh, what a play by Alex Mooney. Every time he makes another one, we think that's got to be his all-time best, but that was one of his best of the summer, no doubt about it. And it's the second out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Also the best pick of the season from Jacob Walsh at first. Give credit to that, because if he doesn't make that pick, that's an E6 on Alex Mooney. Jacob Walsh talked to us. He said in his freshman year at Oregon, he said that the fielding coaching staff wanted him to be the best defensive first baseman he could be, and he's been showing it this summer.
Evan Slight's now the hitter. Arias' first pitch to him is in the dirt, 1-0. So put a star on that one for Alex Mooney. A 6-3 ground out, but not like any other. Tricky hop off this Doran Park turf, but handled well by Falmouth's all-star shortstop. As the 1-0 comes in low on Slight, it's 2-0. So Arias working through inning number 2, but had to sit for a long time during the top of the 8th inning as the Doors dealt with a controversial call, yet another against these Bourne Braves. 2-0 pitch on Slight, swing and a foul back, it's 2-1.
Going back to that controversy, we've already seen Jared Saltalamacchia step in the role of manager, as Scott Landers was ejected in a game one time, and Salty was the acting manager. He is next on deck. That's why I said, what if Brutcher?
It was that caught stealing by Borfin. They called Pinckney out on interference at first as the 2-1 comes in low to Slide. It's 3-1. The entire Bourne defense got off the field as Pinckney stayed on. The umpires then reversed the call, and Bourne manager Scott Landers just went into conniptions about it. Didn't get ejected again, but surely came awfully close. 3-1 to Slight is a big cut and a miss. 3-2 the count, with 2 down and the bases empty here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Evan Slight, lefty bat at the plate, trying to mount something against George Arias, who has retired 5 Braves in a row since he entered to start the 7th inning. He winds in the 3-2, swinging a foul back again, 3-2. So the last time we were here at Doran Park, it was that swinging bunt up the first base line by Peyton Stovall that caused such a firestorm. Game was played under protest, but nothing came out of that. Today, the Braves have a call not go their way, but like you said, the Doors didn't hurt them in that inning. Drew Brutcher struck out to end the threat. 3-2 to Slight is a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Arias, who's through 2 shutout innings. 1, 2, 3, the Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no men left. We head on to the top of the 9th with Collins, Walsh, and McKenzie. 6, 7, and 8 for Falmouth coming up to hit. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network.
Doors up by just 2. 0-2 the count on Bovee. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doors win. They're back like they never left. The Commodores into the postseason for the first time since 2019.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive into right center field. Pinckney lays out, and did he make the catch? He did! The ball game is over. Andrew Pinckney extending to his left, and the Commodores survive.
This one is a swing and a high drive to right center field. Going back, it is out of here! Anthony McKenzie gives the Commodores the lead in spectacular fashion.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
We're on to the 9th inning here at Doran Park with the Bourne Braves in front of the Falmouth Commodores 2-1 in this Western Division matchup. With just 2 games remaining in the Cape Cod League season, the Doors have their ticket punched to the playoffs, as do the Braves, but it's the latter squad trying to jockey for seeding in this year's playoffs. Right now leading by a run, trying to close out the Doors with Corey Collins at the plate. First pitch to him from Craig Scherer is in for a strike. Lefty-lefty matchup to start things. 6, 7, and 8 for the Doors, due up in this 9th, down to their final 3 outs. 0-1 to Collins, is down low, 1-1 from Scherer, who's in for inning number 2. Got through the 8th, giving up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 2. Had a runner thrown out at second base in Jay Sporfin. Check swing by Collins on the 1-1. They appeal to third base, and Mike Hinojosa says Collins didn't go. 2-1 the count. Collins now steps back into the left-handed batter's box as Scherer winds and delivers the 2-1. Swinging a sharply hit ground ball down the first baseline. Diving play by Brito to his left. Flip from his knees to Scherer, covering in time. Holy cow, what a play by the Bourne first baseman. He has made a couple Gold Glove caliber plays over there at first tonight, but none bigger than that. Possibly saving extra bases down the right field line off the bat of Collins. Instead, it's out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning.
There's a reason why he was the all-star first baseman. Insane. The velo in the batter's box, the home runs, great. But he's a fantastic defensive first baseman.
Jacob Walsh now at the plate as Scherer deals the first pitch at shoulder height. A breaking ball taken for ball 1. It's 1-0. Well, the Doors haven't had a lot of balls in play today, and the ones that have been put there have been speared by defenders, as the 1-0's called a strike, 1-1, or they've died in the outfield. Not a lot of carry on the ball today for either team. The Braves with 2 runs on just 3 hits. The Doors with 1 run on 8 hits. 1-1 from Scherer, swinging a foul back, 1-2. But the Doors are trying to avoid something that they have not done since June 28th, and that is lose on the road. Falmouth last did that at Wareham in a 6-4 final. If you recall that day, Ty Evans, Florida Gator, then Wareham Gateman, hit a 3-run home run that gave the Gatemen the lead for good. But since then, the Doors have gone 10-0-1 this month on the road. 1-2 to Walsh, fouled back, stays 1-2.
And you know who he hit that home run off of? Ryan Slater, his college teammate at Florida. I talked to Colby Halter about that, and he said, well, with social media in the world, everyone's had a good laugh about it thus far.
Scherer now steps off the mound with the count 1-2 on Walsh and 1 away. The base is clear here in the top of the 9th. Now the 1-2 delivery to Walsh. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball had Falmouth's first baseman lunging. Down and away. And Anthony McKenzie is the hitter, representing the last out and hope for the Doors in this game.
Anthony McKenzie.
Well, the Braves have had to sweat this one out. Haven't gotten a lot of offense today, and a call in the 8th inning didn't go their way. But Bourne can still come away with a 1-run win if Craig Scherer can get Anthony McKenzie out here with 2 gone in the top of the 9th. First pitch to McKenzie, boxed by Espinal and dropped behind the plate. It's 1-0. Well, McKenzie today has had a solid night at the plate, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Danny Neary, the catcher, is on deck in the number 9 spot. 1-0 from Scherer. Fastball way high, and it's 2-0. So the Braves got 2 runs in the first inning today off a 2-run double by right fielder Mac Horvath. And they're trying to make that enough. 2-0 to McKenzie, down low, 3-0. Craig Scherer, the lefty out of UAlbany, is trying to get through his second scoreless inning and end this game at Doran Park. Hyannis and Katuitt have already won today. Bourne is trying to secure a win to keep pace in the West and still have a shot at first place. 3-0 to McKenzie's up high, ball 4. None of those offerings from Scherer were close, and it's a 4-pitch walk with 2 gone in the 9th inning. Danny Neary is now the batter
out of Notre Dame, Daniel
with McKenzie at first base. Neary today 2 for 3 as well. An infield single back in the 6th and a single back in the 7th inning.
Pinch hitter time. See who comes off the bench.
Well, Neary got all the way to the plate, and now they're calling him back to the dugout with a fist bump. So McKenzie's still over there at first base. No move with a pinch runner yet. With Alex Mooney in the on-deck circle, no matter what happens, the Bourne Braves defense now converges in on the mound, as well as manager Scott Landers. Well, they're going to talk some strategy here and possibly make a pitching change for this final out.
Landers looking at that dugout, seeing who he's bringing out, if it's going to be a righty or a lefty, and base his decision off of that. Game of chess. It's the manager's game, or as Joe Puccio of the Chatham Anglers say, it's the manager's show.
Well, the Doors on this day have 4 guys on the bench that they could use in a pinch hitting capacity. The only left-hander is Peyton Stovall. Right-handed hitters, Josiah Cromwick, Patrick Roach, a newcomer, and Tafton Hensley, a right-handed hitting outfielder. It's Josiah Cromwick, though, who now steps up with McKenzie at first base. The conference on the mound for Bourne now dispersing. And Scherer is going to stay in the game. So lefty pitcher against the righty Cromwick, making his first appearance of the day.
Attention, please. Now pinch hitting for the catcher, Neary,
so
number 12, out
a
of
usual
Oregon,
catcher.
Isaiah Cromwick. Correction, Josiah Cromwick.
And Cromwick in this spot, potentially in case the Doors take the lead. He would have to then take the field in the bottom of the 9th. Cromwick last night against YD, 1 for 4 and had a double along with a run driven in. Josiah enters this day hitting .196 through his first 16 games, 11 for 56 at the plate. Scherer winds and deals. First pitch to Cromwick is in for a strike, a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning at Doran Park. The Braves lead the Doors 2-1 in a Western Division battle. Bourne trying to cling on to this 1-run lead. 0-1 to Cromwick's in the dirt. Bounces in front of Espinal, but no advance by McKenzie. It's 1-1. Well, pitching has dominated this day. The Doors started Will Johnston, got 4 innings of 2-run ball from their left-hander. Matthew Bonnert pitched 2 scoreless, and George Arias then did the same in the 7th and the 8th. But Falmouth with not a lot on offense today. 1-1 to Cromwick, swinging a foul back. It's 1-2, and the Doors are down to their final strike. But you can take it to the bank that if Cromwick reaches here, Scherer's not going to stay in this game to face Alex Mooney.
That is the truth.
They're not going to have a lefty face him with 2 on and 2 out in the 9th inning. 1-2 on Cromwick. Scherer puts it on his hip, and now the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, again bounces off Espinal, and McKenzie doesn't go. It's 2-2. So Cromwick getting his first action of the night with those knee-high stirrup socks and the green and yellow the cleats that he has from the University of Oregon, where he's teammates with Falmouth first baseman Jacob Walsh. Trying to fight back here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Anthony McKenzie at first base in a 1-run game. 2-2 pitch, McKenzie goes, the pitch low, Espinal's throw sails into center field as McKenzie slides in. No advance to third base as Taylor comes up with it, but it's a stolen base with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th inning. McKenzie takes off and steals just his 2nd bag of the summer.
Could have ended the game. My goodness, that was gutsy, but also thank goodness both guys are all right. A little bit of a collision there at second, as Bourne wants this game to be over right here. Big pitch from Scherer.
3-2 on Cromwell from Craig Scherer, the lefty on the mound for Bourne, who's trying to slam the door. He steps off and fakes a throw to second. McKenzie not too far off the bag. Cromwell at the plate has run the count full with Alex Mooney on deck. 3-2 pitch, down in the dirt, ball 4. McKenzie takes off and gets into third base. Back-to-back walks by Craig Scherer here in the 9th inning have put runners at first and third. And Alex Mooney is the hitter.
Out of Duke, Alex Mooney.
And here comes Scott Landers again.
Ooh, Mooney's frustrated too. He just shook his head. He wanted that matchup.
No way Bourne was going to leave in a left-handed pitcher to face Mooney. He has simply been too good against Southpaws this season. So for Scott Landers and company, there's not much of a question for what this move is going to be. It's just a question of who actually comes into the mound here at Doran Park. With Mooney hitting at a 350 clip against lefties, you'd imagine here comes a righty in for Bourne, and that is the case. We'll keep our eyes on who the new hurler is for Bourne here in the top of the 9th inning, with the Doors possessing the tying run just 90 feet away. But we'll take a quick step aside here on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. It's 2-1 here in the 9th inning at Doran Park. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, we're still here at Doran Park in a 2-1 game. The Braves lead over the Commodores right now, and high drama going on here between these two Western Division rivals. Craig Scherer, the left-hander on the mound for Bourne, sat down the first 2 batters in order in this 9th inning, but 2 walks and a couple stolen bags later has Anthony McKenzie at stolen base and Josiah Cromwell at first base. But more importantly, Alex Mooney now at the plate against right-hander Ty Cummings out of Campbell University, where he pitched in 30 games this spring and has so far been dominant with the Braves this summer. In 9 games preceding tonight, Cummings has a .54 ERA and 3 saves. First pitch to Mooney, he takes it for a strike on the outside corner.
He hasn't given up an earned run since June 22nd, and that was the only run he's given up this season. The all-star from Campbell, Ty Cummings.
Fastball slider for Cummings. It has been an effective mix. 0-1 to Mooney, down in the dirt, blocked by Espinal. Mooney held up on the swing. It's 1-1. So Cummings unscored upon, at least in earned runs, in his last 11 innings across his last 7 appearances. Now available to get the save today if he simply retires Mooney right here. 1-1. Swinging a tapper foul left side, and again, the Doors are down to their final strike.
Well, Mooney had the bases loaded one time against these Bourne Braves. He popped out on the first pitch, so he does not want to be the last out with a runner in scoring position, not just in general, but to these Bourne Braves again.
The tying run 90 feet away in the form of Anthony McKenzie, who drew a 2-out walk, then stole second and advanced to third on a low ball 4 that Espinal could not corral behind the plate. Cummings has 2 wild pitches this summer with the Braves. He winds in the 1-2 to Mooney, swinging a tapper foul again left side, out of play.
And I feel like it's important to take note of that wild pitch stat because the Falmouth Commodores' only run today came on a pass ball from Alan Espinal.
Well, the Doors have struggled on offense today to the tune of 1 run on 8 hits. Alex Mooney at the plate is 0 for 2 with 2 walks and staring down the barrel of Bourne's all-star closer. 1-2. Breaking ball low and away. Mooney held up, and it's 2-2. Cummings threw it exactly where he wanted. He's been making his money this summer throwing that pitch, but Mooney just did not bite. Runners at first and third, top of the 9th inning, 2 down. Alex Mooney at the plate, righty-righty matchup with Ty Cummings, who winds and deals. Low again, 3-2.
How about these takes with 2 strikes? That's a gentleman in the batter's box that knows the strike zone.
Guts of a burglar for some of these Falmouth hitters to take these pitches here in the 9th inning. Cromwell at first, McKenzie at third, Mooney at the plate. The count is full. You know Cromwell's going to be going. Cummings winds in the 3-2, swinging a lightly hit ground ball to third base. Eblin up with it, off balance throw across the diamond, and that ends the ball game. By the skin of their collective teeth, the Bourne Braves escape with a 2-1 victory here at Doran Park over the Western Division rival Falmouth Commodores. And it was awfully close in the late going. The Doors had their chances but could not cash in that 9th inning. And now the regular season series between these 2 playoff-bound teams ends in a 3-3 tie.
Well, the Falmouth Commodores had their chances. They had it in the 5th. They had it there. Bryce Eblin nearly lost his footing in the third base bag. He was able to get a good throw over to first base to Chris Brito. The Doors fall today. A lot more on the line, as we talked about, for Bourne than the Falmouth Commodores. Doors got to regroup and go play a close to meaningless baseball game at Spillane Field against the Wareham Gatemen, who are completely depleted.
So, Nigel Belgrave for Bourne gets the win after 3 solid innings in relief. Ty Cummings gets the save in this game after making just 1 out, inducing the ground out from Alex Mooney. Meanwhile, it is Will Johnston, the hard luck loser today for Falmouth. 4 innings of 2-run ball, but not enough, as the Doors could only scrape across 1 run on 8 hits. The Doors are now 18-20-4, locked into 4th place in the division. Meanwhile, Bourne keeps pace, trying to catch up to first place in the West. The Braves are now 21-14-7. The Doors are back in action tomorrow at Spillane Field in the game you referenced, Logan, against the last place Wareham Gatemen in the penultimate regular season game for the Doors. Falmouth then wraps up things the next day against the Catuit Kettleers at the Gov. But tomorrow's game is at 6 at Wareham, and we'll be back on the Falmouth Commodores radio network on the Commodores YouTube channel. Carter Bainbridge for Logan Soforenko and Trey Redfield. We'll see you tomorrow, but that's been it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at Spillane